A different philosophy, different mindset, Mike. That's what Dave Aranda wants to see with his guys. Can they match the physicality that this game will bring?
Baylor won the toss and deferred, so West Virginia will start with it. And this is Preston Fox off a great game in the return game last time out against Cincinnati. So Garrett Green, like we said, for the first time since 4 weeks ago, a suspected head injury. And Don said it, Neil Brown told us yesterday, they've been missing the explosiveness of their run game without him. Neil Brown said Baylor defends the run well, so they want everything they can get on that end.
Yeah, you're right, Mike. He brings the element of making you play all 11. He's that extra piece in the run game that if you're a Baylor Bear today, you have to keep your eyes strapped on number 6.
And a chess match as well between Neil Brown and Dave Aranda, who both called the plays on their respective sides. And it's Green to the air for Traylon Ray to start for 8 yards.
Drive starters, right? That's what Dave Aranda talked about. How does West Virginia today start each drive? Their run, their pass, they do a little bit of everything. How do they get going?
Jaheim White, the 5'7" sophomore who's explosive, hit out of bounds by Keaton Thomas. And there's no flag. It's a first down for the Mountaineers.
Keaton Thomas, welcome home, right?
Yeah.
He's got a story. We'll talk about that throughout this game today. Keaton Thomas, he started at West Virginia. He looked a little late on that play. Some emotions running for Keaton Thomas, the former Mountaineer.
Began here as a walk-on 2 years ago. And this is what Garrett Green supplies. And Neil Brown will love to see a slide after 8 yards.
He takes you out of bad plays. Baylor's doing a great job defensing that last play. But Garrett Green, the experienced senior, sees the opening, takes off, gets positive yards. Now second and short.
Again, because they won 2 games with Nico Marchiol. But they didn't think Marchiol played great last week despite winning at Cincinnati. So it's back to Green, who had been injured. Jet sweep, Jaheim White. First down to the edge. Leading rusher, offensive coordinator Chad Scott told us this guy is our most explosive player.
Absolutely, Mike. Not just in the run game, also in the passing game. And you saw he didn't get a traditional handoff. That was a little fly sweep series. The multiple ways they'll get the ball to White.
And a different look here. This is Rodney Gallagher, the wide receiver, and he gets stood up right near the line of scrimmage after just a yard. Ran into the safety, Devin Bobby.
You're seeing early on multiple ways that this West Virginia offense is going to get the ball to its playmakers. We've seen Gallagher, we've seen Ray, we've seen White. Multiple guys touching the football early.
We expect to see 2 running backs at the same time as well. This is Jaheim White with the hesitation to the edge. Run out of bounds after 20 by Devin Lemire.
And wouldn't you think this is an offense that's going to throw at some point? There's no way. They go all the way to the backside. Nice blocking up front, and then Jaheim White doesn't need much. Just a little bit of a crease. That's all you need.
How about the hezzy from Jaheim White? He's got 3 for 31 already. There weren't a lot of offensive snaps for West Virginia to go around last week, so we didn't see the best of Jaheim White, even though Chad Scott said he ran it well. Green to the air, quick hitter to the outside for a toe-tapping Traylon Ray for 5. Traylon Ray, the sophomore from Tallahassee, has been one of the top 2 wideouts for West Virginia, along with Hudson Clement, who's back today from a hamstring injury that kept him out last week.
That's 2 touches for Traylon Ray already. Only had 1 catch last week, Mike. That's 2 already in the opening drive of this game.
He's been productive this season in year 2 in Morgantown. Second down and 5, and this is 238-pound C.J. Donaldson straight up the middle and enough for a first down.
The blocking up front, this is a big offensive line. They're playing much, much better. Watch the right guard come around. That's Big Weidman just getting in front, creating a path for C.J. Donaldson.
Who gets it again. Searches for a cutback lane. Donaldson bumped out of bounds inside the 5 by DJ Coleman.
I would say that's all blocking, but I'm going to give C.J. Donaldson credit on that last run, Mike. He set up the blocks. He had his offensive lineman just get in the way. Sometimes a great block is just being in the way. That's what Donaldson able to set it up and get the positive yards.
C.J. Donaldson's been quiet recently. Chad Scott said to us this week, CJ's been down a bit because of that, because he hasn't had the performances that he anticipated as a veteran back. But carried it for 15 there, and it's 1st and goal from the 4. 10th play of the drive. Green under pressure. Scrambles. Fires toward Clement, and it's incomplete. Lorando Johnson in coverage on Hudson Clement at the goal line.
Yeah, welcome back, Hudson Clement. This was a one-receiver route. He's the only option. It was there initially. Then Green comes off of it, tries to find someone else, goes back to Clement late in the down. That's a nice throwaway. See where he put the ball at, Mike? It was either his guy was going to get it or was going to go out of bounds, getting you to 2nd down.
And well defended by the 5th-year senior starting corner Snacks Johnson back at Baylor this year. Donaldson trying to break free on the edge and gets just a yard. Devin Bobby was there, and there's a penalty flag down.
Yeah, nice job by Bobby. Let's see what the flag is here.
Holding, offense, number 81, 10-yard penalty, 2nd down.
It's on the dirty work tight end, the redshirt junior Traylon Davis. Our referee today, Luke Richmond.
Yeah, it was right at the point of attack. Davis is right there. He's trying to see. He got a hold on him. Look at outside linebacker, but a nice job. Might have been Brooks Miller. He had a hold on. But Devin Bobby coming up making a play too.
Smart junior safety's done it a couple of times, and it backs up Garrett Green and West Virginia. 2nd down and goal from the 14. Pressure picked up. Green rifles, and across the middle. That's caught by Rodney Gallagher for 11 inside the 5.
Yeah, that's a nice throw. Right into the middle of the defense. They got right in between those hash marks. That route takes a long time to develop, but now it gets you a 3rd and goal. And I'm surprised they haven't found Cole Taylor. He's the big tight end. I mean, you talked all week about it, Mike. 87. I think he's a big play guy right here inside the 5-yard line if they don't run it.
Chad Scott said to us, he is scary. He calls him the problem. First 3rd down that the Mountaineers have faced on this game-opening drive. Jaheim White is the running back. It's Garrett Green calling his own number for a score. West Virginia strikes first.
You mentioned it, Mike. It's all about the run game. I talked about Cole Taylor, where yeah, he was going to get involved in the play. It just he was decided to be the lead blocker. Watch 87 get up in there, boom! That's a nice block and leading his quarterback to an easy run. Sometimes it's not about catching the passes if you're a tight end. It's doing the dirty work. Garrett Green right behind Cole Taylor for the touchdown.
Don told you Garrett Green was cleared last week, but he didn't put a helmet on last week until Thursday. And Neil Brown said to us last night they wanted to make sure Garrett Green was really ready. He sure looks it here in the 1st quarter to start this game against Baylor. Dave Aranda talking with his defense as he squares off again with Neil Brown. Last year, regular season finale, these teams met. And before the game, Dave Aranda met with his athletic director, Mac Rhodes, in Waco. It was a 90-minute meeting after the team's walkthrough. And Dave Aranda told us last night, I had to give my plan of here's where our program can do better. He said he had a full grasp of things that he had done wrong. Well, then after the ball game, a West Virginia win, Neil Brown spoke to Dave Aranda and said, look, I just went through this. He had a down year in 22, and he said it's invigorating and it is cleansing. Both teams this year at 5-4. We check out our Cheez-It Crunch Time, and we told you right now West Virginia's got a 6% chance to reach the Big 12 title game. Kirk, it doubles with a win here today.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, their schedule is already set. They take care of business today. UCF right here in Morgantown next week. They go to Texas Tech to finish it out, and they need another loss. They need a loss from Kansas State, Iowa State, or Arizona State. There is a chance, Mike.
We've been around this league. Coaches have been saying someone with 2 losses is making the Big 12 championship game. First possession for Baylor, and they spit it out to Ashton Hawkins from Sawyer Robertson. The redshirt junior from Lubbock took over the starting job in week 3 from the transfer DeQuan Finn. And all Robertson has done is rank 6th in the country in QBR.
Yeah, he's had a phenomenal, especially last month for his season. He's really coming to his own, showing he's the quarterback that this team needs.
And Bryson Washington, as you said off the top, has been excellent. He carries for 4. It sets up 3rd and 1, and those two guys have really been the key during the winning streak.
Yeah, it's been the arm and legs of Sawyer Robertson, but then Bryson Washington, home run ability. Mike, last week had 3 explosive runs. Can West Virginia limit those runs today?
3rd down and 1. Robertson on a slant, and he's got Josh Cameron. High stepping into plus territory. He signals a 1st down after 23.
6'1", 218 pounds, Mike. We saw him during pregame. This is a big guy. You don't need much. He shields a defender, able to grab it and take it and go.
Now it's a screen, and it is Hawkins again, getting to the edge and bumped out by Anthony Wilson.
Remember, this is an air raid offense with a lot of physicality and run game inside of it as well. Jake Spavital, new offensive coordinator this year with Baylor. They want to play fast. They want to play quick. They get it out on the perimeter early.
They told us it just took a little while with all the new pieces out of the portal. Washington spins for 4.
So it's interesting, the philosophy here, Mike. They spread you out, right? You get 2 receivers up top, 2 receivers at the bottom. Mix in a tight end sometimes. And Michael Trigg, number 1, but they spread you out and they try to run on the inside, a physical power run game.
Pitch it this time, and Washington turns the corner, and he's got enough for a 1st down. Trey Lathan wrapped him up after Washington beat T.J. Jackson around the edge.
Got to be able to tackle in the alley. That's what Trey Lathan, number 4, right in the middle of your screen. He's got to go run. He's got to run all the way down and tracks him down. It's a nice play by the linebacker, but a lot of run to get all the way to make the play.
And right now it's Lathan beside Ben Cutter. Josiah Trotter we do expect to see, but he's not starting the first possession. Robertson wants the seam route to the end zone, and it's caught by Washington for a touchdown. Working on Lathan in coverage, and Washington hauls it in.
Catch for a touchdown.
So we've always talked about Washington and his ability to run the football. He said, hey, just throw it up to me. He's got Lathan all over him. He goes up and grabs that football. That's will, that's want to. Lathan never sees the ball. He's reacting to Washington's hands. But the late hands, Mike, the late show by Washington, able to grab the football before Lathan can stick his hands in there. That's an outstanding catch by the running back.
This one is narrowly good from Isaiah Hankins.
So West Virginia starts off, they score. Baylor gets the ball back. Bryson Washington, and like Bryson Tiller told Lathan, don't.
That's like the cost of a quarterback these days. $800K. There you go.
There's the portal. Transfer portal.
Little oxygen for Bryson Washington after his first collegiate receiving touchdown on career catch number 17. Week 12, college football. A mid-November chill in the air at Milan Puskar Stadium. Jack Stone gets it away toward Preston Fox. From the 3. Special teams going to be so important today on both sides, and Fox takes it out to the 30 as we go back to the touchdown. Kurt?
A couple things I want you to look at here. The route, this is the route, but watch the linebacker in coverage, Trey Lathan. He gets a little bit hesitant in his coverage as he's looking back at the quarterback. Just that hesitation is all that Bryson Washington needed to get enough, and then the late hands goes up for the touchdown. That's an outstanding job by Washington, but a little late in the coverage was Trey Lathan.
Well, we've got an injury on the return for West Virginia. It's the tight end Traylon Davis. Redshirt juniors had an effective season, known for his blocking. Plays on the special teams as well for the Mountaineers. So 7:05 to go here in the first. Touchdowns on each team's opening possession. We might be entering shootout territory for both these teams.
Yeah, which defense is going to get a stop? Like today may be about punts, not turnovers. A punt may be as good as a turnover here today, Mike.
Check on Davis when we come back. Important.
Guys, what did Dave Aranda tell us? They had to account for Garrett Green's legs, and that's exactly what he just spent that entire possession addressing on the whiteboard, making adjustments, finished it off by circling the quarterback spot multiple times on that board.
Yeah, no surprise what the objective is with West Virginia's offense, especially when 6 is back in there at quarterback. Garrett Green to the air. Pressure off the edge. He got it away into a tight window for Justin Robinson to midfield.
That was a late developing route. Bobby was all over him, number 3, but the accuracy of the quarterback leading his receiver in Robinson, that's an outstanding job by Garrett Green.
Firing it in for 21, longest play for the Mountaineers. Jaheim White cannot spin away from Garmin Randolph, and it brings up second down. Well, we talk about the run that you know is coming for West Virginia. Matt Powledge, the defensive coordinator for Baylor, said, we talked about all week, the key is to stop the run, and he had a good phrase for it as well.
Yeah, he said, set your jaw. That's what it is. This is one of those games, set your jaw, especially a lot of people around here in West Virginia, really close to Pittsburgh. Steelers, Ravens this weekend. In AFC North battle, we know it's about the physicality you have to have up front. That's what Baylor has to play with today with this offense of West Virginia.
Set your jaw. That one got scribbled down by you. Green pulls it, tucks it, takes off, and he gets cracked down after 4. Corey Gordon Jr. in on the stop. That brings up third down as Gordon steps over to the nickel spot today because Carl Williams is out with a knee injury suffered in practice on Wednesday. So it's third down and 6. Green wanted the quick one. Check down, not there. Up the sideline, incomplete. But there is a flag down back near the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I think they may get Milam, 74, the left tackle. He had a hold of, looks like one of the defensive ends who was trying to get to Green.
Holding. Offense. Number 74. Penalty declined. It'll be 4th down.
So Dave Aranda will just take, as you would expect, 4th down after the holding call on the midseason All-American Wyatt Milam at left tackle.
Yeah, Milam is just trying to hold, but that's what happens when you got Garrett Green sometimes. You got a quarterback who saw an exit, and the exit was outside of the tackle. Could have actually ran for a first down, possibly try to get it down the field, but the holding call negates that play.
So Ollie Stroud, the junior from Melbourne, comes out to get it away to Josh Cameron, who nearly ran one back earlier this year against Texas Tech and is second in the country in punt return yardage. He signals, he will let it bounce, and it goes into the end zone for a touchback. Well, Baylor entered this season off of 3-9 last year. 4 losses this year. Utah, BYU, and Iowa State were ranked at the time. Colorado's currently ranked. And Baylor's now on a 3-game winning streak, capped by the walk-off field goal from Isaiah Hankins before the bye. And Sokirk sitting at 3-3 in the Big 12. 3 games left, including today.
And you think about this season, they started with Daquan Finn as their quarterback. He won the job out of fall camp. And so you're working an offense that was really primarily based on the run game with Finn. He gets a little banged up. He's hurt. Enters Sawyer Robertson. Now the offense has changed completely. And you can see within the last 3 games how much more balanced this offense is, the touchdowns they're scoring. So this is almost the tale of 2 different teams, beginning and now the end.
Sawyer Robertson gets it out quickly to Ashton Hawkins, who gets to the edge and runs out with a solid gain on first down. And Robertson's been so good as well. He was a big-time recruit, goes to Mississippi State for a couple of years, sits behind Will Rogers. Last year started 4 games because Blake Shapen got hurt, and now he's taken over the job. And as you said, this offense has been different. Bryson Washington wrapped up by Trey Lathan. It'll set up third down and short.
And he also plays with a chip on his shoulder, Mike. They've always been told he's just not that good enough, right? 2 different stops, whether Mississippi State, whether at Baylor, was always, we like you, but, and he's finally really taken over this quarterback position now. And this is a big down right here. 3rd down, empty formation. Remember, he can run if he sees an opening.
Bryson Washington in motion. Gets it out of the backfield for a first down and more, and he finishes the run. Dave Aranda said Bryson Washington plays with violence, and he picks up 15.
Well, West Virginia didn't adjust their alignment. Bryson Washington in motion. Nobody went with the motion, so it was 3-on-3. 3 receivers, 3 defenders, 3 guys got their blocks, and that's how Washington was able to run free for the first.
The redshirt freshman gets it again, running right at Lathan. Washington from Franklin, Texas. Last 3 games, he's run for 390 and 6 tuts. You mentioned what he did last game before the bye against TCU, a guy who didn't even play the first couple of games of the season because he wasn't healthy.
And it's just an offense that now for him, he's starting to see it. You remember, he's a young guy, so with each carry, you could just see the experience.
Robertson across the middle, and he's got it complete to Hawkins again. It's a first down, and Ashton Hawkins has been busy.
What did he tell me before the game, Mike?
He was going to make some plays
He's
for
going
you.
to make some plays for I asked him, you look, Hawkins, one of the good receivers in all of college football, said today is going to be a big day. The opportunities that this offense has presented. I told him, I'll talk good about you. You make some plays. Already 4 catches, and we're not even through the first quarter.
5th-year senior Texas State transfer. And Sawyer Robertson has had plenty of time to throw. They bring 5. He gets it out quickly. Cameron with a cut and a first down and more. Josh Cameron is gone for a touchdown. 43 yards to the house.
It's about making plays in space, Mike. You've got to make the plays in space. That's a routine out throw that has to be tackled right when it's caught. Cameron's on the outside, but Jacoby Spells, number 6, he's got to go attack Cameron. He doesn't do that, and just the wiggle. He surprised us in pregame. You look at him, does not look like he's only listed at 6'1", 218. Looks much bigger, but has the wiggle that you need.
The former walk-on who's had a career season strikes again. It's his 8th touchdown grab.
Well, he puts Jacoby Spells in just a freeze. And once he beats the first guy, he beats the second guy. That's just will, want to. See, watch Spells. He's right there for the play. He doesn't utilize his extra defender, which is the sideline. He should be attacking the inside of Cameron. Doesn't do that, allows him back to the inside, and then it's off to the races and Cameron for a touchdown.
Mike and Kirk, Josh had no offers out of high school, despite 1,000 yards, 30 touchdowns. So guess what? His mom, Andrea, took over his Twitter account and email, DM'd his reel to every coach she could find in the country. Finally got a response from Coach David Wetzel at Baylor, who happened to be a former Baylor walk-on wideout himself. And that's how he ended up here. I know the Baylor Bears are happy the mom took over the DMs, right?
Took over the DMs. Had to throw the @ sign out there, huh, Mike?
That's awesome.
Got to throw the @ out there. Hey, look, find us at Josh Cameron making some plays.
Had a 3-touchdown game in Week 8 against Texas Tech. He's got a touchdown in this one, the second for Baylor, and a high-scoring first dozen minutes here in Morgantown. Traylon Ray from the goal line returns this one, and he gets crashed down. Well defended by Micah Gifford. Hey, tonight on ABC at 7:30 Eastern, it's Georgia and Tennessee. Between the hedges, game day was there. What a sight.
What a sight, man. Pat McAfee always having some fun. But tonight, that's an elimination game, Mike.
Yeah.
Elimination game in the SEC coming up later on after us. I'll be watching. I'll be tuned in to see what happens between these two outstanding programs.
Yeah, the All-State playoff predictor says the winner of that one is basically a near lock.
Yes.
To make the 12-team playoff. West Virginia gets it back, and C.J. Donaldson carries up the middle for a couple. Great touchdown drive to start for West Virginia, and then a punt on their second drive.
Yeah, but how does the Baylor defense get them into 3rd and longs? That's what they need, 3rd and longs. And here goes the chance for the CFP. It's going to be interesting how that one plays out.
Second down, Garrett Green fires incomplete for Jack Samarco. 3rd down.
And this is what I just mentioned, Mike. When you get into these 3rd and longs now, this is where the Baylor defense really takes over. Look at what's going on the field. That's a full change. They just brought out 8 guys, and 8 more guys came in. So 8-man substitution for Baylor. They've got their full-on rush defense ready to go. See if they're going to bring some pressure here as they bring in the cover guys.
With Dave Aranda back calling the plays defensively this season. First time he's done it since 19 with LSU, and they were showing pressure. Baylor got back on side, but there is a flag. Corey Gordon Jr. came off the edge, and he was well past the line of scrimmage.
Hey, a little too anxious.
Offside. Defense. Entered the neutral zone, causing the offensive player to react. It's a 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
And if you're an offensive player and you see it, even if you weren't forced to, the smart move is to react.
Well, everybody knew they were going to blitz. I knew it. They all were going to blitz, but Gordon is all the way. Look, he's like an extra yard deep inside of the offensive line. Oh, man, that's some funny stuff right there. Let's hold your water. We know you're going to blitz. Just relax a little bit. Wait till the ball snapped.
Good to see Traylon Davis has returned for West Virginia. On 3rd down and 2, C.J. Donaldson with a cut, and then he pulls over Matt Jones for a 1st down.
That's physicality. Oh, just watch number 2, Matt Jones. He's great. Going to be in your living room. Watch number 2. He's got to hold that point. He doesn't. C.J. Donaldson just runs him right over. That's 6'2", 238 pounds of running back right in your living room. And Matt Jones didn't get the right end of that one.
If the first 13 minutes didn't sell you on this game, that run should have. This is going to be high scoring and some smash mouth as well here in the Big 12. Donaldson again, why not? Donaldson squirms forward, wrapped up by Keaton Thomas after a half dozen.
Well, I will say this about West Virginia. They have extra blockers. So if you're a defensive player, you got to understand where your leverage is. Who's on the outside, who's on the inside. They confuse you, West Virginia does, with so many different guys in front.
Donaldson to the edge, and he reaches out with a 1st down with Kyler Jordan in on the stop.
They give him a 1st down.
So West Virginia stays in motion with Garrett Green back and at the controls, playing for the first time since 4 weeks ago after he was out with an upper body injury. Gets away from Jones. A pump and a slide and a hit as well from Caleb Parker. Green wants a flag, doesn't get it. They've been begging him to slide, and let's see what we think, what you think. Should there have been a flag here on Parker?
I'm watching him. Parker, he slides a little late, Mike. It goes both ways. The quarterback has to initiate the slides a little bit earlier, but also you can't put the defender also. He's got to protect himself.
Jaheim White off the edge. He's short. It's 3rd down.
Hey, Mike, that's been the issue with Garrett Green. He's got to get down sooner, okay? If you know that you've been taking some big hits over the last couple of weeks, I would get down a lot sooner. Get to the next down. When you try to slide late to that, yes, you have protection, but the protection's only going to be when you give yourself up.
Neil Brown is still not happy. He is still in the ear of head referee Luke Richmond as the first quarter comes to a close.
Yeah, he's basically saying, hey, why don't you go to
the first quarter?
But again, you cannot slide that late if you're Garrett Green.
I agree with you. Entertaining first quarter in Morgantown. Baylor up by 7 with Green and the Mountaineers driving.
I can hit on Garrett a little bit. I'm actually surprised he slid. Like, he is amped, laser focused. Yeah. I mean, I've spent enough time with him on the sideline in 2 games that I can tell that he's next level. Yeah, he's next level today.
Start of the second quarter here in the Big 12 in Morgantown, and Neil Brown was about as hot as you'll ever see him.
Yeah, he's hot because his quarterback slid and then was hit, to me, I think just a little bit late, but I understand why. If your quarterback slides this late, he doesn't get the same protection. He's got to slide a little bit earlier. And I think Neil Brown is upset because his quarterback has taken these shots previous. You don't want to see him be injured again.
3rd down and 2 for Green and the Mountaineers to begin the second quarter. Play fake. Green's got time. Uncorks one downfield and incomplete. A diving Hudson Clement could not make the catch, but there's a flag down.
Yeah, where is that flag? Lorando Johnson, number 18, was on the coverage. This was only a 2-man route. Max protection, so only 2 people were in the route.
Holding, defense, number 18. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot, automatic, 1st down.
Flag was back around the 46, not as far downfield as he eventually got.
Yeah, it was Lorando Johnson. It was just the left hand. You could see it. I didn't see it initially because I saw them running, but if you watch the left hand right before Hudson Clement was able to break to the outside on that route, just a little bit of a grab right in front of the officials, and that grab actually slowed him down. That could have been a bigger play, but in that case, the holding penalty actually helps Baylor instead of giving up what could have been a touchdown.
And it helps West Virginia get the 1st down as well. Neil Brown might have also been frustrated with some of the substitutions allowed for Baylor when West Virginia hadn't subbed. Donaldson for nothing, with Kyler Jordan, the redshirt sophomore from Lubbock, in on the stop. And it's the cat and mouse of Neil Brown against Dave Aranda. They have gone against each other a number of times at previous stops before. Green keeps it, and he runs off the right side. Stacked up by Devontae Tesno. 3 yards, and it's 3rd down.
It's fun watching West Virginia offensively because they're going to have 3 or 4 guys on one side and just they run their plays off the adjustments of the Baylor defense.
3rd down and 9. 4-man rush. Green zips one in, complete. Intended for Traylon Ray. Caden Jenkins had the coverage, and now late flags come in.
That was at the top of the route, Mike. The top of the route. Initially, did not look like there was holding or pass interference.
Pass interference, defense, number 8. 15-yard penalty, automatic, 1st down.
Caden Jenkins is the sophomore and the leader in the back end for Baylor.
Yeah, it's right at the top of the route. A little too handsy. You see him just grabbing there. Got to be more patient in that opportunity. Flip the hips, understand where you are on the field. Didn't understand where he's at. And that little hold is something that you just cannot do on 3rd down, especially.
So it's defensive penalties on consecutive 3rd downs for Dave Aranda's defense. He was saying this week, we have got to play against the pass better than we have so far this season. West Virginia inside the 30. Green fakes everyone, gets to the edge. Run out of bounds by Devin Lemire after 15.
Yeah, you love everything about that play. Even got the receiver involved in Gallagher. Watch the right side of the screen. Here comes Gallagher, 24. He gets a nice little seal, and that allows Green to get to the outside. So you got the wide receivers in on the blocks on the perimeter.
Mountaineers in the red zone. Green stopped by Jackie Marshall after 4.
Gary Green on the keeper. Jackie Marshall the tackle. Gain of 4. 2nd and 6.
2nd down at 6 from the 9. And a high-scoring affair so far at Milan Puskar Stadium in the 12th play of the drive upcoming for West Virginia. Green. Scanning. Firing. End zone caught! Off the tip by Traylon Ray. Devin Bobby got his hand on it. Traylon Ray got 2 for 6.
It's just about tips and overthrows, Mike. Tips and overthrows. Devin Bobby's reading the eyes of the quarterback. He's right there. He just misses what could have been an interception in the end zone. And right there, Traylon Ray, right where he needed to be. Ball bounces right in his hands. It went from, oh, no, 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 2. Yes, yes, yes. West Virginia touchdown.
12 plays, 85 yards in 5 minutes, and we are tied early in the second.
There's a reason why Garrett Green's the quarterback. He knows how to extend plays. Even when it's not there, sometimes you just give your guys a chance. And luck has its chance for the Mountaineers.
Director Ward Manuel.
I just love the reaction. You just got to follow, go to Twitter, go to whatever your social media platform you love the most. I love the outrage. We should be in. Like, people, it's just a projection. Like, relax.
This is Jamal Bell, who's got a touchdown return already this year. He gets wrangled down. Well, last year, these teams met in Waco, and there was no shortage of big plays, maybe some jawing like that as well. And speaking of kick return touchdowns, how about Richard Reese? In a span of 4 minutes in the second, he ran back not one, but two, 96 and then 93 yards for Baylor. But it wasn't enough because Garrett Green in West Virginia. Green linked up with Jaheim White. West Virginia won it 34-31 on the road.
Yeah, Jaheim White was number 22 back then. He's number 1 on your screen today in Mountaineer blue.
Baylor gets the football back, and Bryson Washington runs it off the left side for just the yard. A couple touchdowns for Baylor in the first quarter. Their most first quarter points since week 1 of this season.
For a defensive
Dave
injury.
Aranda said to us, we have never won in Morgantown, something he was well aware of. Sean Martin is down for West Virginia, Kirk, the fifth-year senior defensive end for the Mountaineers, who's been playing very well.
Yeah, plays very well. He plays a lot of plays too, Mike. He's one of those stalwarts on the defense. He also sets edges, so this could be huge for this football game with big number 5, 6'5", 295 pounds. He likes to set the edges, turns things back inside. So if he can't go, definitely be a big loss.
After the play as well, he was reaching at his right leg. We'll check on Martin next. Long thought has NFL upside. Was able to walk off under his own power for the Mountaineers. Well, it's Military Appreciation Day here in Morgantown, and there's the Taco Bell Live Más student section. All season long, student sections across the country are competing to be the Taco Bell Live Más student section of the year. Download the Taco Bell app to learn more. So, early on in the second quarter, here in Milan Puskar Stadium, 14 all in this Big 12 battle. Second down and 9 after Martin goes off the field. Sawyer Robertson complete across the middle to Michael Trigg, his big tight end, and Reed Carrico was immediately in on the stop after 5.
Yeah, you're seeing Trotter and Carrico in at linebacker. Trey Lathan taking this series off, so obviously putting a little more coverage on the defense for West Virginia with this linebacking core.
And third down and 4 for the Bears. Three-man rush. Robertson checks it down. Washington not gonna get there. KK Tarnu was the first one to him, and it's 4th down.
Yeah, that's how you do it. That's good team defense right there. KK Tarnu, he didn't make the play initially, but he slowed Washington up just enough, and you see the 2 linebackers playing cleanup, Trotter, Carrico. But here's the Baylor Bears. They're aggressive. They're still on the field. 4th and 1, and let's see what Jake Spavital, what do they have cooking up? Or is it a situation? And Sawyer Robinson out. Direct snap.
For Bryson Washington from their own 37. Trigg in motion and a false start.
I think you can thank the West Virginia fans for that one. The fans got a little loud. I think that's the false start. Remember, it's a different cadence with Washington at quarterback.
Snap infraction. Offense. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
What effect does that have on offensive linemen?
Well, it's all about the cadence, right? When you hear the cadence, it's a little bit, you have a pause, it's a voice sometimes, it's the clap sounds a little bit different. All of that comes into play. With Sawyer Robertson, it's kind of, you understand it, you feel it's a chemistry with it. And that play, that time, it just has to be snapped right away.
So it was a bold choice from Dave Aranda. Jake Spavital was saying to us last night, those decisions are strictly on the analytics. They get decided well before the moment it happens. So in the end, Palmer Williams gets it away to Preston Fox, met immediately at the 20. He said to me during the break, who's going to punt more? Well, that's the first one from Baylor in a game filled with fireworks so far. First drive of the game, if you're just joining us, West Virginia marched down the field, 12 plays, 79 yards. Garrett Green, a touchdown. Baylor countered, 75-yard drive of their own, capped off with good hands from Bryson Washington. Then Traylon Ray, off the ricochet, tied it after Josh Cameron had a touchdown as well. And we are all tied up at 14.
Yeah, but it just seems like West Virginia's had the ball a lot longer. They've had more plays, 28-16. They've had the ball, the time of possession, a little bit longer as well. So it feels like Baylor has scored quickly, but hasn't ran a lot of time off the clock. West Virginia has definitely played ball control football.
So the defense has been out there for a while, and this is Jaheim White getting to the outside, and he gets helicoptered down just shy of the sticks.
The right side of that offensive line doing their job. Hubbard, Malone, the center, Yates blocking back as well. It's confusing for this defensive front. Trying to figure out, do you go with the lineman? Do you stay where you're at? It's a lot deceiving the way this offensive line blocks.
Both running backs, and it's Garrett Green who keeps for a first down. So this is what Chad Scott told us we would see. Both Jaheim White and C.J. Donaldson in at the same time. Before today, they had done it for 16 snaps this year. 8 of those week 6 against Oklahoma State, and the game plan today is very similar to that game.
A lot of eye candy, Mike. Smoke and mirrors. That's what we call it on defense. When you have numerous guys in the backfield who can carry, who are not just in there to block, they're in there to carry the football, they can receive the football. It just requires much more communication defensively.
Jaheim White gets it here. And he cuts up the middle for a positive gain. And that's what Dave Aranda was saying to us last night. He has studied Neil Brown as a play caller. He said from Neil Brown, there's so much sleight of hand. He said he's real particular, and I love this. He said, you got to see all the snakes in the grass. Green on second down will check it down to White with a cut. Jaheim White, a first down to the 48.
I love his bag. His bag of tricks. He's got the stutter. He's got the stop and go. He's got the dead leg. Jaheim White in the open field is special.
The only thing missing is the stanky leg.
He's got them all, man.
Picks up the blitz there. Frees up Green to run. Garrett Green with a head fake of his own. First down ushered out by Matt Jones after a dozen.
Yeah, I like the decision, though. He ran out of bounds. In prior games, he's probably trying to deliver some punishment. He's trying to do what? He's trying to find ways to keep and extend the play. That time, he just finds enough and gets out of bounds. But a terrific block by Jaheim White. We talked earlier about his passing catching ability. That's a nice job and a nice block on Kylan Reed.
Part of White's evolution from freshman to sophomore. He motions out of the backfield as the Mountaineers have it from the plus 40. Green keeps off the left side, thrown down by Keaton Thomas, who we told you was so excited for this one. Redshirt sophomore Will linebacker who began his career as a walk-on DB here for West Virginia. He's now Baylor's second leading tackler.
Guys, the reason he's a linebacker was because of his time there. The scout team, low on linebackers 1 week. Jeff Kuntz asked him to step in. Bald at linebacker, played the position for the first time ever, then went to JUCO to get some more experience, and the rest is history.
And here he is, playing against his former team.
I love what Dave Aranda said about him.
Donaldson popped after just a yard out of the backfield by LeVar Thornton.
Remember Dave Aranda said when it comes to KT, he's like, just chill. KT, just chill, man. Just chill. That's my Dave Aranda voice because KT was so worked up. He's an exciting player, plays with a lot of energy, a lot of passion. And that's him, number 37 when he was a West Virginia Mountaineer. Now, number 11, one of the best linebackers, I think, in the Big 12.
Guys, he told me this was a full circle moment for him as a walk-on at West Virginia. They helped him find his position, and now he's back playing against him.
Donnie's trying to stop 3rd down and 3, and this is Jaheim White on the jet sweep. Nowhere to go, and it gets strung out by Trey Wilson for a loss of 2, and it's 4th down.
That's a nice job there by Trey Wilson. You saw that too, Mike. Number 91, he made them play. He's going to just dip under. He's right here, number 91. He's just going to dip up under. And all it did is he made the running back bubble. All you got to do, make the running back bubble. Stop the feet, and you just see all the white shirts coming in to stop him short of a 1st down.
A field goal here, Kirk, would be 52. Mike Hayes' career long is only 49, so with 4th and 5, the offense stays out there. West Virginia tied for 4th in the country with 17 4th down conversions. Green fires, and it's dropped by Robinson. Justin Robinson had it, but it's a turnover on downs.
Yeah, because he saw Keaton. He saw Keaton Thomas. He saw number 11. So you have Robinson right there ready to catch, but watch the wide receiver. Watch him peek. He's going to peek at number 11, coming right down in his face. See that? He's looking at 11 before he's able to corral that football.
Here's our College Football Awards Spotlight, brought to you by the Home Depot, featuring Ashton Hawkins. And remember to tune in for the Home Depot College Football Awards Show Thursday, December 9th at 7 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. This is Michael Trigg, and he goes spinning for a 1st down. So one of the many weapons in this Baylor offense for Jake Spavital, and Hawkins, a guy who had 4 catches already to add on to those season numbers, and now Trigg gets involved.
Yeah, Trigg is a dynamic force in this offense. He can make plays on the outside, but also as an inline tight end, becoming a much better blocker.
First carry for Dawson Pendergrass, 218-pound sophomore, their 2nd leading rusher, wrapped up by Anthony Wilson after 8.
And on cue, Michael Trigg, he led the way on that last block. A nice just push to allow Pendergrass to get up through that hole and get some positive yards. If you're a Baylor, at some point, you're going to take a shot down the field. This is shot territory. Right here, 45-yard line, 2nd and 2. I would alert something deep down the field.
Let's see if Sawyer Robertson is thinking the same. Instead on the ground, and Pendergrass gets stood up. Maybe a half a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down with Reed Carrico in on the stop.
So let's think about this, Mike, for Baylor. They almost went for it on their previous possession on 4th down. So I'm looking at, they've got 2 downs to get just 1 yard. So do you maybe put the ball in the air here, try to take a shot deep down the field, and if you're West Virginia, do you just play it vanilla in your coverage?
On the ground, Pendergrass, a 1st down. You know, one thing about this West Virginia defense as well, under Jeff Coons, who's taken over as the defensive coordinator for the fired Jordan Leslie, 2nd game for Coons, they've gotten more aggressive in short yardage and on 3rd downs.
Yeah, they want to make sure they got their cleats in the ground. They want to create more turnovers, but being aggressive on 3rd down is really, I think, the biggest change we've seen for this West Virginia defense under Coons.
Robertson fires downfield for Baldwin. Touchdown! Monterey Baldwin puts Baylor back in front.
Look, 1st and 10, you got to keep your eyes deep down the field. And I think this is a miscommunication by number 1, Garnett Hollis Jr. and Anthony Wilson Jr., number 1 and number 12, to allow Monterey Baldwin to go right through the seam of the defense untouched. There's nobody guarding him. He's just running down the middle of the field in between 2 defenders, and Sawyer Robertson saw it. I think he couldn't let that ball go quick enough. I couldn't believe my receiver down the middle of the field. That's an easy throw for a touchdown.
Monterey Baldwin can flat out fly, and if there's miscommunication, he doesn't need that kind of help.
No, that's all the help that you need. Honestly, it's a help for the Baylor Bears. And Sawyer Robinson putting his arm on display. He didn't even step all the way in that football. He just launched it. That's a happy Baylor Bear right there.
And how about Sawyer Robertson, who is flat out cooking? He's 12 for 12 for a $196 and 3 touchdowns. And what did Jake Spavital say to us yesterday? He's been walking around telling anyone who will listen that for Sawyer Robertson, this is the Tom Brady, Drew Bledsoe situation. Because, again, 5 times, Baylor fans have heard this, Sawyer Robertson has been told he's not the starting QB somewhere. Well, now Sawyer Robertson has taken this, he's run with it. Jake Spavital said to us, he's been the spark we needed, and he is playing at an extremely high level.
He's expanding his role, and the more and more with each game, you can see the confidence growing. Dude said he's got some wheels as well. We haven't seen him put those on display yet, but he's got some running ability behind that arm he just showed off.
Preston Fox is ready to get it from Shaq Stone. Fox from the 2. Crashes down past the 20. Robertson to Baldwin for a Baylor lead.
Yeah, so here's Baldwin right here in the middle. And then you've got a corner here and the safety here. And watch Baldwin just do this. He's just going to go right here, and nobody covers him. So where's the communication on both guys? He splits the cover 2 safety and also the number 1 corner. There's no communication by safety corner, and you get a Monterey Baldwin running free for a touchdown.
And a West Virginia pass defense that's quite frankly been woeful this year continues to struggle here in the first half here today. Mountaineers with the football down by 7. Jaheim White off the right side navigates past the 25 for 4. Approaching 4 minutes to go until halftime. Winner of this one gets bowl eligibility. Baylor at 3-3 in the Big 12. West Virginia, one of 4 teams who started the day at 4-2, tied for 3rd. White again. Hops out to the edge. He gets run out by DJ Coleman for 3, and it's 3rd down and short.
Yeah, this is a big drive right here for West Virginia because Baylor gets the ball to start the second half. Okay, so you want to be able to get some points right here. We are now inside of the middle 8, right? The last 4 minutes of the second quarter, the first 4 minutes of the third quarter. This is where games are won and lost. And what can this West Virginia offense do right here? This is a big 3rd down. They don't want to punt this ball back to Baylor.
Not the way Baylor's offense is going right now. Hudson Clement in motion. Play clock winding down. 3-man rush. Green scans. Green takes off. Goes spinning, and he reaches out, and it's very close.
I think he's short, Mike. Just missed it. Just about a half-yard short. That's a nice retrace by that defensive front. But he's about a half-yard short. 4th down.
Keaton Thomas in on the stop. He wanted to go to the air, and then he took off. And the offense stays on the field from their own 32.
Yeah, I think they're just going to wind the clock, try to let this clock bleed as much as possible. Probably take a timeout and punt it.
Ruling on the field was the runner was short of the line to gain. The previous plays on the further review.
They will have a look at the spot. Our replay official is Marcus Marsden, working with this Big 12 crew. See what Luke Richmond has heard.
The ruling on the field of the runner short of the line to gain stands. Be 4th down.
Okay, so kind of as you expected, Garrett Green Was not hoping for that.
And I think the fans expected it too, because it's not that scattering of boos like you normally hear. It was, you could tell, it was just too close to overturn. I would also say that had they did mark it as a first down, I don't think that evidence would have made you overturn that call as well. So good job by the officials staying with what was called on the field.
But Dave Aranda's got to be licking his lips. You still have 2:41 left. You have 3 timeouts. You're up by 7. You're getting the football right here from Ollie Straw, and you get it to start the second half as well. Ollie Straw gets a high punt away toward Josh Cameron. Goes out of bounds, and we'll see where they spot it. We'll set up Baylor with excellent field position well past the 30. Hey, kick off your Week 11 NFL Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern with the Countdown crew over on ESPN and on the ESPN app. They'll have all the early breaking stories, injury updates, and previews of each game leading right up to kickoff. You mentioned Ravens Steelers.
Yes.
Also in the AFC, another big one as well.
Yeah, Ravens Steelers. You got Bills and Chiefs. Got some big games this weekend, man. Excited. Monday Night Football, you got a good one. Battle of Texas. Houston Texans and Dallas Cowboys. Look at this drive chart, Mike. Touchdown, touchdown, punt, touchdown. Sawyer Robertson he hasn't missed a throw, Mike. Still 12 for 12.
Yeah, look where they spotted this punt. They call it a 20-yard punt, Kirk. It's the best starting field position for either team. From the Baylor 49 with plenty of time for Sawyer Robertson, who throws to the sideline, incomplete. Tyron Bradley nearly picked it, and the first incompletion comes with 2:21 left in the first half for Sawyer Robertson, and he's fortunate.
I think Bradley's just as shocked as I was. That ball was right there. He's like, oh, wait. He couldn't even extend. I thought he was going to go up with 2 hands on that one. That ball, I think if he would have went up with 2 hands, he probably would have been able to get that interception.
Bradley's a rush guy, but he's been a turnover magnet this year and does have an interception this season. Second down, they'll go a little more conservative. Don't tell that to Bryson Washington! Touchdown! 51 yards.
Talk about this offensive line, the chemistry. Watch this block by Campbell Barrington. Watch him cave everything down, and it allowed the hole for Bryson Washington. It's a nice job by the offensive line, but the Campbell Barrington, that right tackle, able to cave everything down, and it's just go hit your head on the goalpost, Bryson Washington. The speed of the home run hitter, he's doing it again. He took a week off because it was a bye week, and he's right back to his old tricks, Mike.
He's been a monster. So too has Sawyer Robertson. We told you right at the top, these 2 players, more than anyone else, have keyed it for Baylor during this 3-game winning streak. A massive turnaround for Dave Aranda, and they're doing it again here in the first half in Morgantown.
Yeah, this stuff, outstanding blocks. Barrington, the right tackle, caved everything inside, so it formed an extra gap. And you don't need much if you're Bryson Washington. He did this a couple of weeks ago versus TCU. You gave him enough space, and he turns that one into a big, long touchdown.
Look, Kirk, you're talking about the blocking. Sets up a guy like Washington. Jake Spavital said to us last night that the offensive line is the most improved unit on Baylor's offense. And Dave Aranda said to us in the beginning, everyone on the offensive line was working hard, but maybe too hard. Like they were trying to prove people wrong. And now they're just letting the game come to them, and it has really turned around the ground game.
Well, I think look at all 5 guys. But the left side of the offensive line has been sort of the problem. You've had injuries. It's been a mix on that side. The right side is really what's been getting it done. We just saw Campbell Barrington, the right tackle. Omar Abedian, number 68, and Colton Price, the center.
And now onside, the kick from Baylor, trying to get greedy ahead of halftime.
They almost had it, Mike. They almost had it, number 20.
We've got a flag down.
Trying to steal a possession is Baylor. Now, the ball did go 10 yards, but nobody touched it, so it goes out of bounds. So it's an illegal kick. Now, does that ball come all the way back?
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team number 99. The 5-yard penalty will be enforced from the 46-yard line. Please reset the game clock to 2 minutes and 13 seconds. 2, 1, 3.
So,
thank you.
First things first, are you okay with the gamble? Because you give West Virginia great field position.
Yeah, I'm okay with the gamble. You're feeling good, and you honestly almost executed the surprise onside. I love the switcheroo there.
Yeah, look at that.
I had no idea. I'm sitting up here, and we're watching them get in a position, and the place kicker is walking backwards, and all of a sudden the ball's in play.
I think that's Reggie Bush who had the onside kick attempt. And so good field position for West Virginia. Garrett Green rumbles right up the middle, and he's got enough for a first down and takes it inside the 30 as we tick down to the 2-minute timeouts. This game has had a little bit of everything so far. Offensive fireworks, and now West Virginia trying to make it a one-score game. All right, Kev. Yeah, great day of college football. We still have Tennessee and Georgia coming on ABC at 7:30 Eastern. West Virginia with 2 to go until halftime, and Garrett Green gets it off to Hudson Clement, who gets out of bounds.
You like that's a good first down play. Now, West Virginia has to turn this into points. I still don't agree with Dave Aranda after scoring the touchdown to go for the surprise onside. I think your defense is playing well. I would love to force West Virginia to have to throw a little bit more. Make Garrett Green have to be the passer. They want to be up. They like to play well when they're ahead. And now you're forcing them with a great opportunity to get points when you could have made them work the entire field.
Yeah, and you went with an onside kick from a backup cornerback, Reggie Bush II. Sets up this good field position for the Mountaineers. C.J. Donaldson! Touchdown! Just looking back at Baylor the last 15 yards.
Great blocks up front. Great blocks up front. You're right back in this game. The offensive line this time, we saw it on the Baylor side. This time, West Virginia, nice little block. That right side of the offensive line, Hubbard, Malone. Watch how they cave everything all the way down, and C.J. Donaldson's able to cut to the inside and race to the end zone for a touchdown.
You said it. If you kick that deep, it makes West Virginia throw. Instead, they could do everything pretty much there for that one pass to Clement on the ground. Their wheelhouse. And just like that, it's back down to a one-score game, 28-21 with $1:47 to go until halftime.
Yeah, you gifted them. You gifted that touchdown, I think, to West Virginia because of this play right here. Very questionable. You mentioned it, Reggie Bush II. No relation to the original Reggie Bush, the Heisman Trophy. But that kick led to the drive for West Virginia, scoring right here with C.J. Donaldson. If you're West Virginia, you're saying, yeah, we're right back in this one. But I think if I'm Dave Aranda, definitely would love to hear his thought on why he would go for that surprise onside at that moment.
Kirk Morrison, let me ask you this now. You're Neil Brown, second game with a new defensive coordinator in Jeff Koons. They haven't shown that they can stop Baylor. So what's the defensive approach got to be now against a very high-powered Bears offense?
Umbrella. Go get an umbrella, meaning everything has to stay in front of you. Keep a hood, keep a lid on top. Nothing gets behind you. That's how Monterey Baldwin got the touchdown. That should be the communication of the West Virginia defense, especially the secondary. Nothing gets behind. If I can't read his nameplate, I'm not deep enough. So those safeties have to be deeper than the deepest.
Jamal Bell is waiting from the 4. Bell cuts it to the outside. Gets past the 30. Bumped out of bounds by Anthony Wilson. And Jamal Bell, who's been great in the return game this year, along with Josh Cameron, sets up excellent field position for Baylor.
Yeah, you got to have real speed in order to do this. To be able to accelerate, stop, start, and accelerate again. Setting up blocks. And what looked to be possibly a situation where you maybe run the clock out, hopefully try to get points. You're right there on the doorstep of getting across midfield. Your whole offense right in front of you, trying to score with all 3 timeouts still available and start the second half with the football.
And a quarterback who's only thrown 1 incompletion Easy one there. That'll help the percentage to Michael Trigg, but he's got nowhere to go. Jaheim Joseph got to him after 3, and the clock rolls. Sawyer Robertson conducts this offense from midfield. Quick one to the outside, and Hawkins turned the corner. And Ashton Hawkins has enough for a first down.
That's 2 plays, 10 yards. So, and they've gotten out of bounds. 1:14 left on the clock. Still all 3 timeouts. Sawyer Robertson can work the entire field, and they can still run the ball.
Isaiah Hankins is the kicker. Screen and incomplete. Sawyer Robertson knew it. He's frustrated with himself on a misfire to Cameron.
Well, it's only because of Tyron Bradley, number 8. He fired off from his defensive end position, and that's what threw the angle off for Sawyer Robertson. He didn't have the perfect angle to get that football, had to sidearm it, and that's how it went out of bounds.
Jake Spavital calling the plays in his first year as Baylor's offensive coordinator. Former head coach at Texas State. 1:12 to go in the first half. Robertson's got all day, and he throws to the sideline for Cameron. Gets past Bradley and gets out of bounds. Well into field goal range with 22 to Josh Cameron.
Again, this is where Josh Cameron is utilizing the entire field. And I don't know why some of these West Virginia defenders aren't using the sideline. The sideline is actually your friend. You want to escort him out of bounds. But Cameron comes all the way back in and still gets out of bounds. Making the first guy miss has been Josh Cameron all game.
Still all 3 timeouts for Baylor. Sawyer Robertson checks it down to Washington. And Washington's got a first down. He's been effective out of the backfield catching a dozen there with 56 seconds to go.
So now when you get down into this red zone, you got to be more aggressive defensively. I talked about that umbrella keeping a lid on where they're not going deep now. They're going short and intermediate, and they're turning those short plays into long plays because of the yards after catch. That's been huge in this drive. This West Virginia defense at some point has to bring pressure down here now in the red zone.
Baylor's piled up 324 yards of total offense. Washington straight up the middle. We'll get a timeout taken by the defense by West Virginia.
Charge timeout.
48 seconds
West
to go.
Virginia.
Hey, Monday, Kirk said at Dallas, Week 11
timeout.
Monday Night Football. C.J. Stroud and the Texans, who get Nico Collins back, by the way, against C.D. Lamb and the Cowboys, 8 Eastern on ABC, ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and who could forget Peyton and Eli on ESPN2.
Will the curtains be closed, Mike? That's been the uproar at Cowboy Stadium.
Hold on,
Will
there's a
Jerry
glare.
Jones have the what? They were closed last night for the Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight. Those curtains were closed. Will they be closed on Monday night? Yes, it was a fight last night for people who said it was a staged fight.
When did it start?
But his legs, the legs of Mike Tyson.
All right, we got 51 seconds to go here. First timeout was used by West Virginia, so still 3 for Sawyer Robertson and Baylor from the 8-yard line with second down and 7.
Michael Trigg, number 1. Big tight end threat down here. If they decide to throw the ball, look for this tight end right here in the slot. He's been a major force for them.
The transfer from USC and Ole Miss. Instead on the ground with Washington. In for another touchdown. Bryson Washington got past KK Tarnu. And Baylor keeps pouring it on.
Got to make plays. You get one-on-one, you got to make the play. Get a guy down. The coach can only put so many guys in the right position, but watch late. You're going to see Tarnu come in. He's got to make the play right here. Watch KK Tarnu, number 14. You got to get involved. Don't wait. See, he waits. He waits and tries to lunge, and Washington just comes and runs out of that little arm tackle. You got to come get involved. When you wait, you allow bad things to happen, and that's a touchdown. Number 2 for Bryson Washington.
We saw Baylor doing all kinds of dancing on the field pregame. They were feeling good. Nothing so far in this first half has changed that vibe. With 47 seconds to go in the first half, they have piled up 35 points and Kirk 335 yards.
Yeah, right here in your living room. Watch 14 on the left side of the screen. He's going to come in. You have to decrease that space. You can't sit here and give him the two-way go. Washington wants you to think. as a running back, if you're not going to press the issue, he's like, come on, man. I'm just going to just run right through that arm tackle because he's got enough space to do that. And he's shown the red shirt freshman, number 30, Bryson Washington, with each carry, you could just see him blossoming more and more in his role. Now in his 8th game, his 8th start, he's taken over. And I don't think he's giving that starting position back.
So onside kick and all, in the end it's back to a 14-point lead. And again, Baylor's getting the football to start the second half. This one gets kicked deep. And out to the 25. Since there was 2:13 left in this first half, we've had 3 touchdowns, 21 points. And in total, this is the most first half points in a Big 12 conference game this season, combining for 56.
Whoa. I knew it was going to be a lot of points scored. Didn't expect this many so far. And how many punts so far, Mike? How many punts today?
What have we got, 2?
2? Yeah. I said whoever's going to win the punting matchup, and I'm talking about the least amount of punts, maybe wins this game. And right now, we're still at. We got 3 punts in this game so far, Mike. 3.
That's it?
That's it.
Plenty of yardage, though.
Punts or turnovers tonight.
That's the way it's gone. All right, so West Virginia down 14. They've got 47 seconds from their own 25, couple of timeouts. Quarterback draw. Green toward the sideline, muscling out of bounds. They do spot him out. The clock stops, 39 seconds to go, and a first down run for Garrett Green.
But do you think I want to put my quarterback in this situation? He's coming back from injury, Mike, and so running him on a quarterback keeper in this type of scenario, I don't know if this is something that's smart for West Virginia. Him being healthy is my best chance to win. I don't think this is the right time to have the quarterback run this late in the first half.
From the 42. Pressure gets to Green. Jackie Marshall bear hugs him for a sack.
I like the big swim move by big number 0. Just watch him. He's going to be right in here. And watch, he comes in and then just big swim. Watch the big swim. I love the big swim. He comes in all the way from the outside. He comes to the inside. Big swim over the top. Comes in and he gets right back out. That's a nice little 1-2 step.
Charge
it's
timeout.
in, then out.
West Virginia, second and a half. It'll be a 30-second timeout.
And Neil Brown was forced to use his second timeout after a loss of 7. Jackie Marshall, a very twitchy redshirt junior, has been banged up the last couple of weeks, but they were hoping that he'd be 100% coming off the bye. Hey, tonight, UFC 309 is at MSG. We'll see how many punches are landed in this one. It's highlighted by the heavyweight title main event between the champ, John Bones Jones, and the former champ, Stipe Miocic. Main card starts at 10 Eastern on pay-per-view with prelims at 8 on ESPN News and ESPN Plus. And to order the main card in English and Spanish, go to espnplus.com/PPV.
Okay, that's a real fight tonight, by the way. That's a real one.
There you go. You're satiated. Garrett Green has done it on the ground to the tune of 88 yards. After the timeout, he fires and it's incomplete. Excellent coverage from Lorando Johnson, draped all over Justin Robinson, and it brings up third down.
Yeah, I think the fans had some scattered boos there because they thought that Lorando Johnson got in there a little quickly, but it was because of the release of Justin Robinson. He came out and initiated contact. And so Johnson was just getting right back in phase and able to knock that play away.
Third down and 17 for the Mountaineers. Green takes a deep shot. Downfield for Clement to make the catch at the 21. Flag down as well with Caden Jenkins in coverage. 44 yards for now.
Yeah, I don't know how you're not on top if you're Caden Jenkins. Nothing should be behind you, so you should be already playing on top. But a nice job by Hudson Clement, back from injury, and just the concentration being interfered with to make this catch.
Pass interference. Defense. Number 8. The penalties decline. The result of the play is the first down. The game clock will start on the snap.
Again, just extending the play. That's what happens when you're able to extend the play. You're able to get down the field. And Jenkins has his hands on Clement. but the concentration and the unbelievable catch by Clement.
From just outside the 20, Green escapes pressure. Green zips one incomplete. Back of the end zone, intended for Clement. 15 seconds to go until halftime.
See, Garrett Green gets a little greedy because look at all the green grass on the outside. Watch, he's going to make the fake. He takes off to the outside. Look at all this green grass over here. If he runs off, he knows he messed up. He probably could have had a much better opportunity and a much closer opportunity to go for a touchdown.
And that being said, Kirk, I think he also did have Clement.
Yeah.
It's a misfire.
It's a misfire, but I think he's trying to get greedy, get those yards, get out of bounds.
Play clock winding down ahead of second down. 15 seconds to go, one timeout for West Virginia. Green under heat, got away, runs this time. Green with the cut, short. Clock stops for now after 20 from Garrett Green inside the 5.
You don't think he thought about that the play before? He realized how much open room that he had on the play before, and look how much more determined he is. As soon as he puts that foot in the ground, he's thinking end zone. This time he's just running, doing an outstanding job. Gets him right there, set up at the doorstep of the goal line.
Final timeout used by Neil Brown in this first half. And look, you said you don't want to take unnecessary hits on Garrett Green. But the flip side of that is this is what he can do with his legs. In less than a minute, he can take his team to the doorstep, to the 1 yard line right now with 6 seconds left until halftime.
But see, the difference here was that it's a passing play.
For sure.
And there were open run lanes. He's back to pass. He looks, he scans the defense. If it's not there, he can take off and protect himself. When it's a designed quarterback run to start the drive, that's where I'm saying, hey, let's not do that.
And so now, what do? You're out of timeouts. 6 seconds to go. What kind of play call, if there is one, that you can get off to still give yourself a chance at 3?
I've got a 6'7" tight end in Cole Taylor, right? We haven't called his name enough today. He's been a great blocker, but 6'7" tight end, I'm going to throw it up to him or throw up to one of my receivers. I think you got about 2 plays here with 7 seconds left.
There's Cole Taylor.
At 6'7". Right here.
7 seconds. They added 1 more second until halftime. Gallagher in motion. Green, quickly, end zone for Taylor, incomplete. 3 seconds came off the clock. 4 seconds to work with. You think it's enough for a play?
I think it's enough for a play. I think one more play. They had Taylor right there. It was just too much traffic. When you have all that traffic as a quarterback, you can't throw it right there at the numbers. It has to be low. Always hurt quarterbacks down by the goal line. You got to throw the ball low because you want the receiver to go down and go grab it. You don't want those missed throws and deflections to pop up for interceptions.
Decision-making of the essence here for Garrett Green, the 5th-year senior. 4 seconds to work with. Green will run it straight up the middle. Met at the goal line. They'll give him the touchdown. Green, the touchdown as he ran into Linus Noel. Late flag comes out as well with the extracurriculars all the way back at the 12-yard line. Trevin Ma'ai, the defensive end, was in the middle of it. It was called a touchdown on the ground for Garrett Green.
My initial look was that he was denied the end zone. I thought he was denied. My initial look. Now here comes the replays. Where is this football at? That football's in the left arm, Mike. I don't know if it ever got to the goal line. So they're going to take a review of this one. Is that ball across
There is no foul in the play.
goal line? It just has to touch the edge of that front tip of that goal line. The front plane. That's all it needs. The ball, it's a tip of it. Will we have an angle that shows that? Initially, the first couple looks, I don't see it.
And how about the all or nothing play call sets up this decision? So it's really hard to tell from this, but this is the matchup. Garrett Green running into the 337-pound nose tackle, Linus Noel.
But where's the football in correlation? Noel's right there on the goal line, but where is the football? Does it touch the plane? all the looks that we have, this may be the best look right here.
Collision points right there.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have anything that can overturn that call.
At the further review, the ruling on the field of a touchdown stands.
It stands. Touchdown, Garrett
Green. The end of the
Green.
first half.
And how about the gamble from Neil Brown and the all or nothing play call of designed quarterback run with 4 seconds to go, no timeouts. You know that's your last snap.
Oh, yeah, ends. Garrett Green, there's a trust. I told you that to start this game. There's a trust in why he's starting this football game, because he's got the belief that you put the ball in Garrett Green's hands, he's going to make the right decision. Got just enough for the touchdown.
Mike Hayes comes on for the point after. Hope he didn't go anywhere, by the way, when there was like 3 minutes left until halftime, thinking, all right, we're going to get to halftime ho-hum. We had 4 touchdowns in the final 2:13 of this first half. Baylor puts up 35, their most first half points against an FBS opponent.
Whoever just punts the least amount tonight, that's what it's going to come down to. Right now, both offenses are clicking. They're going on all cylinders. You got one side of it with Baylor and Sawyer Robertson and Bryson Washington. On the opposite side, Garrett Green returns to the lineup. He's been outstanding. To me, Mike, it just comes down to almost who has the ball last is going to win this game.
Just crazy what we saw offensively. Baylor had 335 yards of total offense. West Virginia was 3 yards better, 338. But Baylor's got the lead. Both teams looking to get bowl eligible. The winner has that. And Baylor starts with the football with a return from Jamal Bell. Plenty of highlights to choose from in the first half.
Yeah, well, if you start with Baylor, it started with Sawyer Robertson, the quarterback. He started his game off, Mike, I believe, 13 of 13, 12 of 12. He was on fire. And then Bryson Washington, the running back, he got going as well. So the offense was the 2 stars going into the game are being stars tonight so far. The rushing attack, the throwing attack, Sawyer, Bryson, all day for the Bears.
As expected, and they go back to work. Bryson Washington gets chopped down off the edge by KK Tarnu. This is shades of 2012 here in Morgantown. Top 25 showdown. West Virginia won 70-63.
For a defensive injury.
And now Sean Martin might have got hit in an uncomfortable spot as he heads off the field. Let's go down to Don.
Guys, West Virginia head coach Neil Brown said that's about as bad as he's seen his defense play in a half all season long. He said it's real simple. The message is we have to tackle, but he mentioned them not being able to tear off blocks on the perimeter. He said that's why they are able to get those easy completions. That has to change this half.
In their second game with the new defensive coordinator, Jeff Coons. Robertson complete again. Nothing's changed in that regard. A first down to Monterey Baldwin.
He was all day. He had like 5 minutes to throw that football. Nice job on the offensive line blocking up front, and Robertson able to step into a nice throw to Baldwin.
Washington falls forward, initially tripped up by Asani Redwood. So what have you seen from West Virginia's defense? Because when they made the change, they focused on, you said it in the first half, just getting lined up, a little more aggressive on third downs as well, but none of that worked in the first half.
Well, they've been great when their feet are set, but then it's just been miscommunication and the explosive play. What they wanted to eliminate, they have not eliminated those explosive plays. Long runs and also that long touchdown pass earlier.
Brought some heat. Robertson dirted it, and it's third down. Robertson through the air. Garrett Green with his legs. You see his throwing numbers, but at the bottom there, he ran for a $109.
Yeah, that's his game, though. That's the reason why he's a starting quarterback. He makes the defense has to play all 11. You have to have all 11 guys involved in the running game because of Garrett Green's legs. And we saw how that first half ended for West Virginia. This is the first big third down of the second half for this West Virginia defense.
See if they bring pressure on third down and 8. Nope, they back off. Robertson floats it downfield. Baldwin the catch and conversion. Working on Anthony Wilson. Robertson finds him for 30.
Well, we thought they were going to be aggressive on third down. They weren't aggressive. They only brought 3 players, and they dropped 8. And just having that amount of time, watch Sawyer Robertson see, hey, it's 8 defenders, hold the ball, gets it right over the top of Trotter to Baldwin for the first down.
Empty from the 35. Incomplete for Baldwin on the out pattern. Why not be more aggressive? Obviously, we're going to see a lot more here in the second half, but anything about Baylor's offense that they would back off?
Well, I don't know if maybe it's the coverage hasn't been as tight. Maybe also, too, the tackling in that man-to-man coverage. Guys have been able to make the first guy miss and turn it into a big play. So maybe trying to keep guys in front of them. I would love to see more aggressiveness from this defense on third down in particular.
Robertson only had 2 incompletions in the first half. He's got 2 already on this drive. Monterey Baldwin has come off the field here for Baylor with his helmet off. Washington on the pitch, gets cracked down after a few yards. Third down coming again for the Baylor offense. Baldwin was just holding his neck on the sideline. Had a long touchdown in the first half.
I think he was tired too. He ran 2 back-to-back plays. This is a fast, up-tempo offense, so you don't get a lot of chance to rest. You stay on the field, but this is 4-down territory regardless for Baylor. So when we look at these third down plays, I look at them as just extensions of 4th down.
Tarnu blitz is off the edge. Washington the catch, slipped away. Washington a first down, but there's a flag down. Back at the 31.
Yeah,
that might be holding.
Yeah, Ketron Jackson, Ketron Jackson. I'm laughing because he tried to get away with a hold, but it was in front of everyone. It was a blatant hold right in front of the official.
Offense, number 11, 10-yard penalty, third down.
You're saying it wasn't subtle, is what I'm gathering?
No, it was not subtle. And it's always the one that's at the point of attack. So he's going to come right in. You'll see it right into the screen. So it'll happen right over in here. And watch Jackson. He comes right in. There it is. It's just he's got the right hand, and it's on the shoulder pad of the defender. It's always the easy one to call, Mike, because it's where the pass was also caught for Baylor. So what was a 3rd and manageable type situation, it's 3rd and 18 for Baylor offense.
And it seems like, gosh, half those 6 penalties have come on big third downs for Baylor in this game. So it's 3rd down and 18 from the 43. Pressure comes this time. It's picked up. Robertson across the middle. Hawkins got back up. Hasn't been blown dead. Hawkins is in for a touchdown. 43 yards for Ashton Hawkins on the second effort.
Yeah, nice job by the officials letting this ball play out. That left elbow goes down.
Okay.
So they're going to bring it all the way back.
The ring on the field was the runner was not down, and it's a touchdown.
I thought so too in real time. They did not blow it dead.
They didn't blow it dead, but the left elbow comes down. All the fans are seeing the replay. We got a chance to see it on the video board. Watch the left elbow right here. The left elbow is down right there.
Yep.
So the ball come all the way back. A lot of drama, but
forearm wrist, it's all down.
It's all down.
So the interesting part of it is you get to the 35. Does take you into field goal range if you want to attempt the long one.
Expedited review. The runner was down at the 37-yard line.
So they mark him down at the 37. By the way, this is exactly why we have expedited review, so they can take just a quick look at it. They can correct it. They can call it 4th down. And now we'll see if they do trot out Isaiah Hankins, who Don watched in pregame warmups, drilling consecutive kicks from 55.
I think that's
3 in a row, Mike.
3 in a row. Okay. See what they decide here, and they will bring him on.
So this would be from about 54 or so. So right at that upper limit for Isaiah Hankins. Career long is 54 last year. Season long is 51 earlier this season. He was the hero in the last game for Baylor. 2 weeks ago against TCU from a mere 33. The walk-off winner. He got lifted off the field in Waco after the game winner against TCU. And he'll try this one eventually, we think. Conference with the officials. Luke Richmond is our head referee. clock, yardage,
Clock,
any
yardage,
part of that?
spotting of the football.
It looked more
You
like
have
the
all
35
elements.
than the 37 to me,
Right.
but it's a little bit splitting hairs.
I think they've got it situated.
So if you're Isaiah Hankins, you're probably not thrilled. It
Right.
kind of serves as icing
Icing the kick.
without the timeout. Yeah, a little extra help, he said, in that winter from his newborn son, Campbell, who's now 3 weeks old. Isaiah Hankins will try a career-long 55. Hankins' kick curls wide right.
It was wide right, it was short. He didn't have the distance nor the accuracy. The operation was fine, but just a little out of the distance for Hankins.
West Virginia gets the football back, down by 7. (35-28) Baylor early on in the third quarter as West Virginia gets the football for the first time in the second half. They racked up 338 yards of total offense in the first half as they come in off back-to-back wins, sitting at 4-2 in the Big 12. 5 wins overall, like Baylor, trying to get bowl eligible. West Virginia started the day tied for third in the Big 12. Garrett Green has returned, and he has run it well. He's going to the air this time, and he's got Cole Taylor. Taylor inside the 40, and you've been waiting on him, Kirk, and Cole Taylor has entered the chat as he picks up 30.
Yeah, I think he might have had bad service early on because they weren't going to him. They finally allowed the tight end to start to get loose. A little bit of delay off the line of scrimmage. He went behind the linebackers and just waited for him to get into the open green grass, and boom, nice throw, and let him take over with the run after catch.
Second year after transferring in from LSU, now a fifth-year senior, and he has grown so much in his 2 years in Morgantown. Rodney Gallagher undercut off the right side by Devin Bobby.
Mike, you talk about his growth. He told me he really learned from his time here in the last 2 years since he transferred from LSU to embrace his role, learned how to be coached hard. A great point of maturity from him. Said he listened too much to the tone and hard coaching, not the message. Took things too personal, and that shift has allowed him to get better.
Yeah, and he has really been effective over these 2 seasons here in Morgantown. Cole Taylor for 32 plays ago. Garrett Green with time and then nowhere to go. The protection held up for only so long before Matt Jones got to him, and a loss of 4, and now third down.
Yeah, nice retrace by Matt Jones. He's got Jaheim White in coverage. So he goes to his coverage up top, and then he sees, oh, there's an open gap. And we know that Garrett Green has taken off when he sees that opening, and being able to close that down was Matt Jones. A good job of seeing your coverage, but also seeing a void in the defense.
The 6th-year senior, a very old-school Mike linebacker. And now whistles ahead of third down and 10, and we've got a flag down on the near side of the field near the line of scrimmage.
Snap infraction. Offense, number 50, 5-yard penalty, third down.
It's on Brandon Yates, the 6th-year senior, who figured out his snapping issues last week against Cincinnati that had plagued him for a lot of this season. Maybe penalties are the only thing that are going to slow down these 2 offenses.
Yeah, penalties have been the drive killers for both these teams, especially on third downs. Right on the opposite side, it's been the defensive penalties that kept drives going, and now here's the penalties on the offensive side for West Virginia that may stop a drive.
The Mountaineers converted on a 3rd and 17. This is 3rd and 15. Green gets rid of it, incomplete, intended for Preston Fox. Lorando Johnson was in coverage, and it's 4th down.
Yeah, nice job by Johnson to make the play, but also to Keaton Thomas. He was a spy on that play. We've seen Garrett Green take off and get extra yards. Could have gotten him in a better situation to possibly go for it on 4th down, but with that incompletion, you're forced to punt.
You're at the 38. It's 4th down and 15. This is outside of the range of Mike Hayes for a field goal. So that's Ollie Straw, the punter, who will play a field position game here. Josh Cameron is set up at his 7. Play clock winding down, and Straw skies one. Cameron handles it inside the 15. Baylor's got the football up by 7 on the road in Morgantown in the Big 12.
Baylor University was the then quarterbacks coach here at West Virginia.
Told us last night he still watches Tavon Austin's highlight tape because his son is really into it. Who wouldn't be? Dawson Pendergrass starts this Baylor drive straight up the middle for 5. Josiah Trotter, Jeremiah's son, in on the stop. We've got offense all over the place. Jake Spavital on the opposite side of this one for a Baylor offense that was humming in the first half. West Virginia's defense showed no signs of stopping. Pendergrass again picks up 4 yards. It'll set up 3rd down at about a half yard. It's been the ground game of Bryson Washington. He's done it catching balls from Sawyer Robertson as well. We haven't seen Sawyer Robertson need to run at any point, but he's been really successful with that as well since taking over as the starter in week 3. Handoff, Pendergrass up the middle, and Pendergrass is close. Reed Carrico in on the stop, and it looks like it's enough for a 1st down.
It was the second effort by Pendergrass. He was hit initially by Carrico, but he was able to spin, keep his body still up, and got enough for the 1st down. That second effort by Pendergrass for the 1st down.
Out of the backfield, Pendergrass, shy of the 30, knocked down by Reed Carrico, the Ohio State transfer.
Sort of like this drive right here is this drive starter for Baylor, right? They're keeping it on the ground a little bit. That, to me, was a pass we get. It seemed like an extension of a run play to the outside. So right now, just kind of playing a little bit more ball control than maybe we've seen throughout this game. Can they put together a long drive and try to put points? You almost feel like going up 2 scores can go a long way in this game to keep West Virginia's offense from trying to run the football.
Another check down to the sophomore Pendergrass with a flag down, and Pendergrass gets run down by Reed Carrico again.
Yeah, they're going to get Colton Price, the center. He had the grasp of the defensive lineman that he was in front of.
Holding, offense, number 72, 10-yard penalty, 2nd down.
So again, penalties have really knocked the rhythm for both teams offensively here midway through the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, great point. That's what stopped the last drive for West Virginia offensively, and now it stops sort of the momentum that this drive was going with for Baylor. Some positive plays, and then you get a holding call that backs you up 5 yards.
So Dave Aranda, whose team is on a 3-game winning streak, with all the outside noise swirling around them this season. Robertson, incomplete. Intended for Michael Trigg. Garnett Hollis in coverage, 3rd and long.
Surprised he threw that football, Mike. It was 3 Mountaineers all over Trigg. They were right there on him. He had a check down available to him, got a little greedy. He's almost lucky that one was not intercepted.
Third down and 15. From the Baylor 19. 4-man rush. Robertson's got nowhere to go. Sean Martin gets home for the sack. It's West Virginia's first tonight.
Sean Martin showing off some of that versatility. He's right in the middle of the screen. Little inside game. The tackle goes up. He just curls right underneath and got a free path to the quarterback for the sack.
He's been dinged up a couple times in this game, but the 5th-year senior from Bluefield, West Virginia, comes through with sack number 1 in a night where Sawyer Robertson's had all day to throw.
Man, that's why they put Martin on the inside. Usually he lines up on the defensive end to the outside, put one of their better rushers in the middle of the defense, and rewards him with the sack.
Palmer Williams gets one away, shy of midfield. West Virginia will be in plus territory. Let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kev, their only loss is by 7 to Ohio State 2 weeks ago, and a pretty comfortable finish. Purdue, Minnesota, Maryland.
It's funny when Penn State plays, obviously Michigan and Ohio State, they're judged upon those games, but they're one of those teams that if they make it to the playoff, I do not want them. I don't want to draw them first.
Jaheim White gets the carry to start this drive for West Virginia. Picks up 4. By the way, Kirk, this is the first time we've had 3 straight drives in this game without any points to show for it. What's going on right now?
I think the defenses are catching on, but more importantly, these penalties have stopped some of these drives.
From inside the 45, Green, deep shot, sideline for Ray off a helmet with a flag down. And Ray is down and injured. Caden Jenkins was in coverage. Oh, that did not look good for Traylon Ray.
Pass interference, defense, number 8, 15-yard penalty, first down. Officials timeout for an injury.
The sophomore wide receiver from Tallahassee, who's been one of the top wideouts this year for West Virginia. Traylon Ray gets tended to, and the focus all surrounding number 7 for West. Moments ago, just got on the cart after an injury we will not show you again. And all of his teammates, though, running over in support of the sophomore wide receiver from Florida. That was tough to watch.
Yeah, very tough to watch. He's been playing great today. Had an opportunity to make a big play, but you see the support of his teammates. All you can do is just hope for the best. And there's guys coming together, keeping them in their thoughts and prayers.
Guys, you heard over and over, I love you, I love you. Finally, the trainers said, hey, we got to get him out of here.
Head trainer Vince Blankenship and the West Virginia staff was on the scene. I'll pass along any updates if we receive them. West Virginia back with it from the 29, and the pass to Cole Taylor. He goes spinning away. Finally dropped after 7. Set up second and short following the penalty.
Yeah, again, he's right behind the linebackers. And this is where I think the mismatch is starting to come in. Garrett Green starting to see that. He's got an opportunity to get Cole Taylor matched up on whether it's Matt Jones or Keaton Thomas. That's an advantage for the West Virginia offense.
With Garrett Green operating. If you're just joining us, didn't play the last 2 games due to an upper body injury suffered against Kansas State. 5 to go in the 3rd. Davis in motion. Jaheim White the carry. Spinning on Keaton Thomas, and it's enough for a first down.
Just getting downhill is Jaheim White. He's not necessarily considered the pounding back. He only goes 5'7", 195, but to be able to fight his way through, make a couple guys miss, and get enough for the first down. Nifty moves in the hole.
And West Virginia's piled up 230 rushing yards in this game. Out of 12 personnel with 2 tight ends, Green will throw. Zips it to the sideline and batted away. Caden Jenkins breaks it up on Hudson Clement. And Jenkins heads off, grabbing at his arm.
Yeah, Trevin Mae able to just flush Green to his right. And that was a nice play by him. And then Caden Jenkins has been all over the place. He's been the man with the target on his back, finding ways to knock that ball away.
So he jogs off in discomfort. LeVar Thornton, the redshirt freshman corner from Fort Worth, comes in to replace him. And remember, Baylor today is without nickel Carl Williams, who suffered a knee injury Wednesday in practice. 2 running backs set. Jaheim White can't spin away from Garmin Randolph. It's a loss of 3, and it's 3rd and long.
Randolph was not full at all. He's right in the middle and just didn't go with anybody. He followed the offensive line down, but when that ball's handed off, he just goes and makes the play in the backfield. That's a tremendous job by Garmin, able to see not only through the offensive line, but to see when the ball's handed off and be able to react and make the play.
He's the very experienced 6th-year senior who goes at 6'8". Mountaineers need 13. 3-man rush. Green pats it. Green takes off. Up the middle. Green inside the 10. He's short, but it sets up 4th down and short with the legs scrambling again from Garrett Green.
Yeah, watch Garmin. Remember, he dropped earlier. Now watch him. He's the spy in this play. He goes too far away. He thought Green was going to continue to take off running. Green stops and goes back and gets north and south. And once he goes up the field, Garmin able to kind of recover. But if he would have stayed in his spot as the spy, as the dropper, would have been able to stop Garrett Green a few yards shorter than where he was at.
Offense stays out there, and for a few years now, Neil Brown has been one of the most aggressive on 4th downs in the country. 12 personnel, and the big running back, C.J. Donaldson's in. They need a yard. Green rolls and he throws, and it's a diving bid caught by Taylor, but short. Very close for Cole Taylor, but Cole Taylor comes up short on a 4th down throw from West Virginia.
Because this play was made by Matt Jones, number 2. He comes right in. He disrupts the play. Garrett Green wants to hold on to the football for a half a beat longer. He couldn't do it because Matt Jones, number 2, the linebacker, he blitzed and was able to get to Green much quicker than he wanted to throw that football.
Hindsight, Kirk?
Yeah.
Are you okay with going for it, and are you okay with the play call?
The way this game is going, Mike, you feel like touchdowns are going to win you games. You feel like threes aren't going to do anything for you. You get all the way down there, you want to cash in with a 7. I love the call. I love the call by Coach Brown in that situation. Very aggressive.
So now Baylor gets it back from its 9, and a long throw to Josh Cameron is wrestled away from Dantes Fagan. You saw what the first half versus the second half has been for Baylor. Our second half drives in totality: a Baylor missed field goal, a West Virginia punt, a Baylor punt, and then West Virginia right there turning it over on downs. From the 15, Richard Reese. Little doing up the middle. 3rd down and medium. Sonny Redwood in on the stop.
Now this is a big 3rd down that'll make Neil Brown right. Okay, if you're able to hold him here on 3rd down and get the punt, you feel like, hey, going for it was worth it because you got an opportunity. But you need the defense to stand tall here, Mike. They keep talking about being aggressive on 3rd down, creating turnovers. This is the weighty down to do it right here. Tarnu showing pressure at the bottom.
They bring 5, screen, Cameron, 1st down. He drags Josiah Trotter with enough to move the sticks.
Official timeout. That's player number 40.
They bring the pressure and they throw the screen opposite. So this is Sawyer Robertson seeing that screen. I mean, knowing where the screen's going to go, but seeing that blitz pressure on the opposite side. And they're just outflanked. West Virginia is outflanked on that right side. And Cameron doing it all day when he puts the ball in his hands, run after catch.
Bryson Washington, the 1st down carry. How fun is Josh Cameron, by the way? Don told you his story as a walk-on in the first half. Redshirt junior, 34 on a wideout, and the punt returner is deceiving.
Hey, that's my college number. So I like the 34, but I think it's very deceiving to your point, Mike, that you see him with the ball in his hands, and he's kind of like a tight end. He looks more like a tight end than he does wide receiver. But when he gets the ball in his hands, very elusive, and he's made the first guy miss all game long.
He's got 5 catches for 101 yards. Sawyer Robertson keeps this one, and he goes wrestling forward to pick up a few. Couple yards on the carry, and it'll set up 3rd down inside of 30 seconds to go until the 4th.
And will we see this play happen in the 4th quarter? And the way this offense looks, they may just sit on it. And this play, 3rd and 4, start the 4th quarter.
Inside of 5 seconds. And West Virginia won't jump, and Baylor will do just that. They'll take it to the 4th quarter
That is the end of the 3rd
with the lead.
quarter.
What was that we said about all the points? No points in the 3rd. Come on back for the 4th.
Coach Brown, you told me at halftime you needed your defense to tackle a little bit better. What have you seen so far?
Well, we've been better. You know, this 3rd down is going to be huge. We got to be able to stick it in down in the red zone. We had a play there that was close. You know, tough emotionally, you know, to watch Traylon Ray. Obviously, that was a bad injury, and then having to go right back out there. We just got to take it when we get in the red zone, score touchdowns.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks.
A huge 3rd down for Baylor from the 30. Sawyer Robertson, incomplete. Dropped by Monterey Baldwin.
He had him. He had him. It was one-on-one. Monterey Baldwin on the linebacker, Carrico. And Carrico saying, thank you that he dropped it. And that was a bad matchup for the linebacker, but the opportunity was there, but the drop. And Sawyer Robertson realizing that was a huge play that just misfired.
So Preston Fox is back to return. Ready to get it from Palmer Williams, sophomore from North Carolina, a midseason All-American in his 2nd year on the job. Low punt toward Fox, who was great on returns last week. Breaks a tackle. Preston Fox finds a seam, and he's tripped up. Shy of the 40. Gavin Yates made the stop on Fox to save something worse.
He got to it, made the first guy miss, and he's going to the wall, and 43 just lunges in there. I think he may even banged up his right shoulder, but Gavin Yates comes in and make the play.
Well, this season, All-State will celebrate every field goal and extra point made by participating universities by making a donation to the university's General Scholarship Fund. Thank you, All-State. Plenty of extra points in the 1st half. Who will score here in the 4th? Mountaineers get the football back with great field position, down by 7. Sitting at 4-2 in the Big 12. Garrett Green zips it sideline, incomplete. Behind Justin Robinson, with Caden Jenkins back into the ballgame for Baylor.
You notice one thing sometimes about Baylor defensively, their corners are playing a lot off. So if you're going to play off, the underneath throws are going to be there for you if you're West Virginia. But you see how they continue to break up? These defenders are not afraid. They're not going to get beat deep, but they're going to make Garrett Green have to check the ball down, and they're going to rally up and tackle.
The defense led by Dave Aranda. Again, he has taken over play calling this year. Had to make changes this season. C.J. Donaldson spins toward the 40, but not much doing. Lorando Johnson in the corner came up to make the stop after just a yard, and it's 3rd down.
Well, you got a corner being nosy, right? He's getting in there making the play. Unafraid are these corners and secondary players.
Up tempo for West Virginia. Green on corks down the middle, and Clement hangs on. It's a 1st down and 22 yards.
Yeah, nice throw. He had to get it over to 6'5" Steve Linton, the linebacker, number 10. He had to climb the ladder, but just couldn't get there. Nice throw to Clement.
Plus territory, and Green hopping his way, and he couldn't get the edge. Keaton Thomas wraps him up for a loss.
Keaton Thomas is having himself a day, Mike. Number 11 has been all over the field. I know it's his return to West Virginia, where he started school, but just watch number 11, just the will, the want to. Refuses to be blocked, turns back upfield, and makes a play on the quarterback. Keaton Thomas, number 11, man, playing some ball.
Hyper energetic redshirt sophomore who injured his own shoulder working out on the sleds earlier this season. It's the kind of energy he's always got. 2nd down and 13. Fake it to Gallagher, and Green with a stiff arm. And not much more for Garrett Green. LeVar Thornton in on the stop after a couple, and it's 3rd down.
Mike and Kirk, I know you were just talking about Keaton Thomas. I want to point something else out to you. You might notice for the first time since the Iowa State game, he's without that cast on his right hand. Broke his pinky on that hand against Iowa State. Had to learn how to get off blocks and tackle with the cast, and it is gone. Kirk, I know you can attest to how much of a difference that makes.
Oh, you feel free. Oh, you're running around. You're ready to hit anything moving. You got full functions of those hands. Now you feel like you can intercept the ball a lot better, too.
He drops in coverage on third down with a flag down, and Rodney Gallagher is short of the sticks. We'll check the marker with Baylor maybe jumping pre-snap.
Yeah, do you decline the penalty and go 3rd and 5, or you got 4th and 2? I think that they accept the penalty, go 3rd
Offside.
5.
Defense. Number 10. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
I think it's the right call as well.
Right.
Maybe 4th and 2, like you said, maybe even 4th and 1. But
right.
I do think this is the better call. And again, the penalties pile up for Baylor. That's now 9, a season high. And we said how many of them have come in big spots on 3rd downs.
Yeah, and how aggressive will Dave Aranda's defense they be right here on 3rd down?
You're just outside of field goal range. So perhaps 4-down territory anyway for West Virginia, down by 7. Pretty aggressive. Pressure comes. Green got it away. Low to Taylor and incomplete. Inaccurate throwing on the move. And it's 4th down. And the offense does stay out there.
Yeah, that time Baylor brought extra defenders. Nobody really converged on the quarterback. Everybody stayed on their coverage. It's supposed to be called rush to man. So when you rush to the man, you're going to either the running back or the tight end, whoever you have in coverage, and you fall off into the quarterback. Nobody went for the quarterback. They just stayed on their man because of the ability to escape the pocket of Garrett Green.
And now it's 4th down and 6 for West Virginia. 0 for 2 on 4th downs, including last time throwing it on 4th and 1. Green zips it incomplete. Matt Jones in coverage on Clement, and on 2 4th downs, Matt Jones has come up huge for Baylor.
Oh, what a cat and mouse game. They showed as if they were going to blitz. They didn't blitz. Matt Jones is at the line of scrimmage. He pops out. Back here in Morgantown, that last 4th down, I want you to watch Matt Jones. He's the linebacker right here. He's showing as if he's going to blitz. At the snap of the ball, he drops back in coverage. Garrett Green never sees him. He knocks the ball away, and the Baylor Bears are off the field defensively on a 4th down stop.
And so they get it back offensively, and Bryson Washington continues a productive day catching passes. And we've got a West Virginia player down injured after a 7-yard pickup for Washington after the 4th down stop from Matt Jones and Baylor.
That's the second 4th down play that Matt Jones was involved in. Remember a little bit earlier in the 3rd quarter, made a play down in the red zone to hurry Garrett Green's throw up. That resulted in a 4th down stop. And then on the last 4th down stop, he makes the pressure, or fakes the pressure and knocks one away.
Jaheim Joseph is being tended to, key safety who transferred in from Northwestern. While we have a moment, we take a look at this week's college football playoff rankings, brought to you by Prudential. No trouble for Ohio State. Low scoring game for Texas at Arkansas, in a game that means a lot to the Razorbacks. Penn State, Kevin and Trevor updated you on that one. And Tennessee and Georgia about a half hour away over on ABC.
Yeah, but that scary one, number 6, right over here. BYU. BYU, Kansas tonight. That's an interesting game.
Washington on the ground for a 1st down. Yeah, part of the craziness in the Big 12. Again, BYU is perfect. Colorado won today. So they're a half game behind 6-0 BYU, with Colorado at 6-1. And then West Virginia, one of 4 teams to start today, tied for 3rd at 4-2. Robertson, low throw, incomplete toward Ashton Hawkins. With Sawyer Robertson putting together a huge 1st half. Former top 60 recruit in our ESPN 300. Was well decorated coming out of Lubbock. Went to Mississippi State, now year 2 with Baylor. Gavin Yates, the fullback, out of the backfield. Only his third catch of the season. The former walk-on defensive end for 7, and it's third down.
And he's got that big brace on, Mike. Remember, he made that play on Preston Fox on the kickoff return, right? So, sorry, on the punt return. That could have been a huge play. So see him back out there, Yates, is a huge sign for Baylor.
Third down. Robertson incomplete. Wanted Hal Presley, who does get a flag. It came in late on the route run by Hal Presley.
Yeah, they're going to get Dantes Fagan 13. It's the left hand, the left arm on Presley. Presley did a good job at the line of scrimmage, but watch the left hand of Dantes Fagan. That's what the officials called.
Pass interference. Defense, number 16. The ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
Yeah, they mean 13.
Yep, watch 13. See the left hand? And then he comes back with the right. So they got both of them. Just too much. Can't grab the initial grab and then to follow it back up with the right arm.
Fagan, the 6th-year senior, transfer from Charlotte, who's now at his 4th school. Neil Brown does not like it, and it sends Baylor to the 34, up by 7 inside of 11 minutes to go. Robertson got away from pressure, and he throws incomplete for Cameron.
Wouldn't right now be a good time for a West Virginia turnover? They've been preaching them all week long. They had 2 last week. They had an interception return for a touchdown, a fumble return for a touchdown. It feels like this is the game where they truly need a defensive score in this second half. We're still waiting for our first score by either team in this second half.
We haven't had a turnover in this game either. Only turnovers on downs. Late play clock. Washington straight up the middle. Gets tripped up by Anthony Wilson, the safety, after 5, and it's third down.
Third down. Big down here. West Virginia defensively, Baylor offensively. And the guys who you have to look at, Josh Cameron has been a guy. Number 34. He's at the bottom of the screen. I'll keep my eye on him.
That's Josh Cameron matched up with Garnett Hollis. On 3rd and 6, Robertson got it to Hawkins. Hawkins got away, and he gets hawked down by Carrico, and it looks like he's got enough for a first down. Ashton Hawkins has stepped up in a major way today for this Baylor offense.
Yeah, it's nice route combination. You get the outside receiver to go to the outside, and you get just one-on-one with Hawkins. There's no linebacker, there's no safety. They caught it right on the blitz.
Yeah, the slot corner blitz, like you said, KK Tarnu, and Hawkins and Robertson recognized it. Washington, straight up the middle. That powerful running from Bryson Washington, running at Sean Martin, and he picks up about 7.
Look at this push. I expected this more from the West Virginia side. It's Baylor now in this second half starting to get the good push up front and lean on these defenders.
Call it 8, and it's 2nd down and 2 behind that offensive line. Washington again. Washington tumbles down at the 10-yard line.
It's not like he's very elusive, but if you're going to try to tackle him by the legs, Bryson Washington is able to get out of those. You've got to put hat on hat. You've got to put a face mask on Bryson Washington. If you don't get a helmet, shoulder pads, something on him, he's walking, running out of those arm tackles.
Dave Aranda said this week, Washington looks for contact, and then it energizes his teammates. 1st and goal, Washington again. Up the middle, finishing a run! Touchdown! They would not be denied.
Mike, that was an angry run. Watch this run, but watch the linebacker, 35, Carrico. He is going to get ran into the end zone, and Washington literally pushes Carrico over into the end zone. It's 35 on 30, and 30 wins the battle all the way into the end zone. Not one, not two, but third touchdown of the night for Bryson Washington.
What a day for Bryson Washington. 3 on the ground, 1 through the air, and a 4-touchdown day for Bryson Washington.
This Bryson Washington finding himself into the end zone. Cal Brandt, give him the scepter. That's an angry run. Standing run of Washington and just getting the ball to his guys. Cameron, Preston, Hawkins, Baldwin. Everybody's contributed tonight.
This kickoff goes for a touchback. And we check out today's great performance brought to you by State Farm. 4 touchdowns for Bryson Washington for a second game in a row.
Just a redshirt sophomore, and redshirt freshman, and he's playing much older than his years. With each play, you can just see the chemistry, the experience, the explosiveness. He's got wiggle, he's got his power, he's got a little bit of everything. He showed off the total package today.
A guy who always loved playing defense, coming downhill, hitting somebody. He says, I've always had that defensive mentality, and he was powerful to finish off touchdown number 4, make it a 2-score lead. Jaheim White starts it for West Virginia, getting strung to the edge and bumped out of bounds. DJ Coleman did the heavy lifting.
Okay.
Second down and 10 for West Virginia. Struggling to run it since halftime. And White trying to finish a physical run of his own. And Jaheim White's got enough for a first down with an 11-yard pickup and a fresh set of downs.
And that's a commitment to the run game, Mike. They get stopped on first down, a negative gain. They come right back with it, and they get a first down. At some point, Garrett Green's going to have to try to push the ball down the field a little bit more. They got to make up 2 scores rather quickly.
A reminder of the game's coming still tonight. White gets tripped up by Lorando Johnson for a loss.
Dave Aranda bringing the cat. That's the cat blitz. C for corner. Corner cat blitz. Comes off of his coverage and makes a play in the backfield. That's a nice wrinkle that Dave Aranda throwing on the defensive blitz.
Green patting it. Throwing on the run, and is it intercepted by Corey Gordon? It's a pick. Got his foot down, and Corey Gordon takes it away for Baylor.
There's an interception. First down, Baylor.
What a spot by Corey Gordon. Remember, he's starting in place of Carl Williams, and he gets 1 foot down. Nice job reading the eyes of the quarterback. That right foot's down. That's an interception for Corey Gordon, redshirt sophomore out of Oklahoma City.
Who will step up in that one? Winner again is about a near lock for the playoff. Baylor gets it back up by 14 with 7 minutes to go, and Dawson Pendergrass running hard for the Bears. Tyron Bradley finally got him down. It's a first down.
Explosive plays of what we've seen throughout the rushing attack for Baylor, and that's exactly what West Virginia defensively didn't want to do. They didn't want to allow the big explosive plays, but these runs have been coming in chunks all game long for Baylor.
They've taken it inside the 35, soaking plenty of time off this 4th quarter clock. Pendergrass again inside the 30. Boy, you think about Dave Aranda in year 5. All the talk about the hot seat, all of the disappointment coming off last year, and then a 2-4 start. And look, you can hardly find him because he's hands-on with the defense, teaching and calling the plays this year. And they have turned this thing around, and they're trying to get a 4th consecutive win.
He's got the notebook, Mike. He's got a trusty notebook that he keeps by his side. Nobody can read the notebook that he has with, what is it, scribble in there? Scribble scratch?
Something like that.
Scribe? I don't know what he's got in there, but he's got a notebook that he keeps with him at all times.
Screen to the outside for Hal Presley. He's short on forward progress, and it's third down.
I have done my research about this notebook, Mike and Kirk. Yes, it's filled from front to back. Quotes, passages, poems Coach sees, defensive plays, drawings. He said that it's the only thing that he can control, and so that's why he loves it. But yeah, nobody can read any of it. Keaton said it's genius chicken scratch, and yeah, they call him actually Professor X from the X-Men comics because he controls everyone's minds from the chair like a mad scientist.
I love it, Don. And on 3rd and 1, Pendergrass, the first down. We asked Dave Aranda about his routines as well, which includes the notebook. How could it not? He's in the office by 4 a.m. or maybe 4:15 a.m. every day. And up until 5 a.m., he's laying out his schedule for the day. He's writing in that notebook. He's preparing for practice. He's got a 7 a.m. team meeting. After that, because he's coaching the linebackers, he's got his linebackers meeting. Yeah. He told us there's a lot of caffeine, so you are zombied out by the end of the day.
Yeah, talking to the defensive coordinator, Matt Powledge, he said it best. It's like, look, he has made me a better coach because of his attention to detail, and that was on full display throughout this game.
Sawyer Roberts into the air, and it's incomplete through the hands of Hal Presley. He also said there's a Russell Crowe movie out there somewhere that's really about Dave Aranda, and couldn't help but think of A Beautiful Mind.
Yep, that's it. He definitely has one, and you could just sense that he can kind of feel the confidence that his team is playing with. And I'll be honest, I think that Baylor is now coming along to where college football is. You know, I did ask him that question about the trends of college football, and he realizes what he had to do. He had to get back to his Texas roots. And when I say Texas roots, the offense and Jake Spavital and what this offense is currently right now showing. They're running the football, throwing it. They're doing a little bit of everything, Mike.
Hard running right there, Kirk, from Dawson Pendergrass. Takes it into the red zone, and it'll set up 3rd down and short. Yeah, that was a key hire. And he said, yeah, I did it because you've got to win games. But Dave Aranda said the bigger reason for the hire of Jake Spavital as OC was, I think it's going to help recruiting.
It's going to help recruiting, especially in the state of Texas. Right, you got to be able to go get some quarterback play, running backs. It's about the depth that this team can now provide. And this winning streak definitely is something that will continue on and help them in the early stages of recruiting.
Soaking all kinds of time off this 4th quarter clock. Ticking toward 3.5 to go. 3rd and 2. Roberts into the air. Off a tip. Nearly intercepted. Presley made a bid for it. And then Anthony Wilson had a chance at a pick with Dantes Fagan in coverage, popping that thing in the air.
That ball is popping all the way around, right? Like a kernel in the popcorn machine. That thing is just pop, pop, pop. And it falls on the ground just short of anybody catching it.
So it's 4th and 2, and the offense stays out there for Baylor. Could make it a 3-score game, or pick up the first down here, and you can really try to put this thing on ice. Yates in motion, a handoff straight ahead. Pendergrass in for a touchdown, and an exclamation point for the Baylor Bears.
It's been the run game of Washington, and now Pendergrass right through the line of scrimmage, telling them to come on and go with me. Come on over to my place, into the end zone for a touchdown.
Dawson Pendergrass trying to turn off the lights in Morgantown.
And light a candle.
The lead is 21 for Baylor with 3:24 to go. Sawyer Robertson was excellent in the first half, and then Washington and Pendergrass here in the second for Dave Aranda. Don.
You know, everybody wrote Baylor off at 2-4, guys, and head coach Dave Aranda pulled this picture out to show his team from a mountain in Hawaii. He said, at 2-4, we weren't even in this picture, and now we're on the stairs up the mountain. It seems impossible. It looks impossible, but it was really his way of saying just keep climbing, one step, one game at a time. focus on that path. Yeah, finish off the season. There you go, Kirk. Where are they on the path
They're
now?
up there now. They're a little higher than when they first started. I don't even think there were stairs yet. They were still on the flat part of that climb. Now that climb, they're up there.
Dave said they weren't even in the picture.
They weren't even in the picture.
When it started at 2 and 4, he said we were not even on that picture of that mountain in Hawaii.
They just climb. You keep climbing.
Don, it's such great stuff from you. And it's the story of Baylor's season and trying to make it a 4-game winning streak, 3.5 minutes away from doing just that.
I've always had coaches would say too, Mike and Don, while you're still climbing the mountain, don't look back and see how far you've gone. Continue the journey. Keep looking forward. Don't look backwards. You can't go back. Just only go forward. And that's the way it's seen, is the way this 3-game winning streak, and now on the verge of win number 4 in a row.
Leading by 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter in Morgantown. Garrett Green goes back to work. Tight end screen, Cole Taylor. Cole Taylor turns it upfield. Corey Gordon in on the stop.
Pass is complete to Cole Taylor. Brought down by number 24, Corey Gordon Jr. Gain of 8.
On second down, Green slings it complete across the middle to Day Farmer. And the true freshman's got it out to midfield. Just his 4th collegiate touch.
Miller with the tackle. First down, West Virginia.
All 3 timeouts for West Virginia with the clock under 3 minutes to go. Down big in the 4th. Pressure off the edge. Green got it away. Jump ball, double coverage, and nearly intercepted by Redding. Mirando Johnson had the coverage.
Yeah, he put the 2 seatbelts on. He said he's out there locking them up. He's got a cast on too. It's just, we've seen casts all over the place today. Players taking them off, putting them on. But if you're Baylor, you're in a great position. These defensive backs, they came in banged up in that secondary. And think about it, they have held this West Virginia offense scoreless in the second half. This is an I don't know what was said defensively amongst these guys for Baylor, but so far they've played an outstanding second half.
Green takes off straight up the middle and with a head fake. Tumbles outside the 30. Jacob Redding in on the stop. The redshirt freshman getting his first defensive snaps of the year. From outside the 30. Green flushed, and he will float that incomplete. Garmin Randolph applied the pressure. So Baylor looking to get to 4-3 in the Big 12, 6-4 overall, and get bowl eligible. Meantime, for West Virginia, this would be another home loss in a season that's been filled with them, and would drop Neil Brown's team to 5-5 this year.
Let's deal with UCF coming to town next week, followed by that final game of the season, regular season, at Texas Tech. So still some work to be done for West Virginia. Still trying to get bowl eligible as well.
2:09 to go. They got to get the snap off, and they do. Green across the middle. He's got to complete to Preston Fox. It's a pickup of 4 as we roll to the 2-minute timeouts. Dave Aranda's team trying to make reminder over on ABC. Number 7 Tennessee and number 12 Georgia about to get started here in Morgantown on a 3rd down. It's a pickup to Rodney Gallagher from Garrett Green for a fresh set of downs. Down by 21 in the final 2 minutes. Baylor trying to win in Morgantown for the first time ever in their 7th game here at Milan Puskar Stadium. Garrett Green fires incomplete over the top of Cole Taylor.
It's been a long time coming for Baylor, and I think they realized that too. And you saw it earlier on. Remember, go back to the first quarter, they were up a couple scores, and Dave Aranda decided to surprise onside. So they felt like they knew they were going to have to steal some possessions throughout this game, Mike, because defensively we haven't seen many turnovers. Baylor got the 1 turnover on the interception from Green, but other than that, it was a back-and-forth football game But it's a story of the second half. And Baylor dominated the second half to where West Virginia just never really matched the intensity that Baylor played with.
Nobody scored in the third quarter. Baylor's got all 14 points in the fourth quarter. They bring pressure. Jones got through and forced the incompletion from Garrett Green. And Matt Jones, the sixth-year senior, who wears the green dot you see on their defense out of Odessa Permian, comes through again.
And he's had multiple stops on fourth down. He's been involved in them early, getting the Baylor defense off the field, and that time showing off his ability to get skinny in the hole, especially on the blitz, and just put a little pressure on Garrett Green. He and Thomas both. Keaton Thomas, number 11, Matt Jones, number 2. Outstanding. Remember, you know who their position coach is, right? It's the head coach, David Randall. So no surprise there.
And now a snap gets by Garrett Green, so he's just got to send that to the sideline. It's fourth down, and that's the way the second half has gone for West Virginia. Fans have really filtered out. They even made an announcement here with about 7 minutes to go in a two-score game that there are 2 lanes leading out of here. And then fans started filing out of the stadium with Baylor really picking things up here in the fourth. So it's fourth down. You got to go for it, obviously, from the 19-yard line. Late substitution from West Virginia, meaning Baylor could do the same. So Neil Brown's got to burn a timeout. So for Baylor, next week, you said it, they're at Houston, who lost last night at Arizona. Houston is now 3-4 in the Big 12. And then Baylor finishes the regular season, like you said, in Waco, hosting Kansas, who hasn't had the season Lance Leipold envisioned, but last week they did pick off Iowa State,
right,
and they play tonight late night at BYU. That'll close the season for Baylor.
Yeah, that'll be a good one. That's going to be a matchup that, look, if Baylor can win this thing out, I think they'll be favored down the stretch. Those last 2 games, you win 4 in a row, you've got everybody's attention in the Big 12. They can end up, if you think about it, can finish this thing 8-4. And to think about where it started at to where it possibly could finish at, I think you've got to be excited. You can just see the confidence of this team, and it's probably because of the quarterback position. I mean, Sawyer Robertson has finally showed people, hey, I can do this if you give me a chance. And giving him the opportunity as a starter has helped out.
Free play, and it's a conversion on fourth down to Justin Robinson. Takes it inside the 5 with about 90 seconds to go here in the fourth.
Johnson. Flag on the play.
Waiting on Luke Richmond.
Offside. Defense, number 52. That penalty's declined. The result of the play is a first down. The game clock will start on the snap.
That's pretty remarkable to think. 2 more games and you could be 8-4.
Correct. It's just, it's a long season. And when you fix things, when you get things right, you're starting to see the play pick up, the confidence pick up.
Green with nowhere to go, just trying to create something. And Trevin Ma'ai gets to him for a sack.
I mean, there's still a lot of room for improvement on both sides, obviously, for Baylor. They want to get some more things going offensively with the wide receiver position. Defensively, for sure, get healthy.
Green scanning and gets rid of it. Third down and goal. And it'll be interesting to see how the Big 12 as a whole shakes out, because, like we said, you've got a BYU team that is 6-0. They play tonight, 10:15 Eastern time, over on ESPN against Kansas. Colorado's 6-1. Colorado closes out at Kansas and then at home against Oklahoma State. So they've got everything in front of them.
Yeah, that's going to be major. Can Coach Prime and the Buffaloes get to the conference championship game in year 2 of the Prime effect?
Third down and goal. Green zips it, and Taylor could not hang on. Fourth down and goal.
Yeah, I was expecting him to have a big game today, Mike. I thought they would really utilize him, the big 6'7" tight end, who's really, I think, one of the better tight ends in college football. They just have not found a way to get him open. It's been a tough night for Cole Taylor.
So West Virginia will try to get something here from the 11 on 4th and goal. Garrett Green fires back in the end zone, and Taylor makes the catch for a touchdown. With 55 seconds to go, Green connects with Taylor for 6.
I thought this would be there all night for West Virginia. Just the mismatch, putting that ball up and allowing the big 6'7" tight end to go grab it. I mean, not a lot of guys can jump and get to where he's at. I thought that would be a part of the game plan, but you know, kudos to Baylor's defense. They made it difficult for Garrett Green and these receivers, and they really stopped the rushing attack. Jaheim White early on, Donaldson had some runs early on, but I think as the game went on, especially in the second half, they limited the run and really made West Virginia one-dimensional.
Mike Hayes does come out for the extra point after it looked like West Virginia might go for 2. Instead, Hayes is out there. For a while in the second half, this was a one-score game, and West Virginia had chances on some 4th downs in the 3rd and in the 4th, and both times for Baylor, Matt Jones stepped up.
He had number 2 right in the middle, goes through, blitz untouched, and knocks and makes Garrett Green have to get rid of the football earlier than he wanted to. And another 4th down at the line of scrimmage, shows blitz, comes out, and knocks that ball away. Defensively, Matt Jones has had a big part in why Baylor's defense has really held strong in the second half and limited the scoring opportunities for West Virginia.
One of the leaders on this team who has spoken outwardly about his support, wanting to win for Dave Aranda when things were tough earlier this season. And now Dave Aranda's 55 seconds away from a 4-game winning streak and 6-4 overall.
Yeah, just belief. And that's what he said. That's what winning does. Winning gives you belief. Winning also gives you the why, the understanding of why you do things. And you see, this is still a very young team, right? Very young team. Young players all across the board, but they've got the quarterback right now.
Got to go onside kick here if you're West Virginia, obviously. And so Michael Hayes bounces one high to the edge and handled by Baylor. Nicely done by Ashton Hawkins. He's got something to say about it to the Mountaineers. All right, so in the Big 12, BYU still coming tonight. Colorado has already won earlier today, like we said, 49-24 against Utah in Boulder. Arizona beat Houston last night, and a few more games underway and still to come tonight.
Look at the 2 teams on the bottom. How surprised are you at that?
Very.
I mean, going into the season, Oklahoma State, Utah was picked to win the Big 12, by the way. Remember that? Utah picked to win the Big 12. Oklahoma State, Ollie Gordon coming back, still have not won a game in the conference this season. Surprises all around.
It's the way it's gone in the topsy-turvy Big 12, where Baylor has new life. A new quarterback stepped in week 3, and Sawyer Robertson's been excellent. An improved ground game, piloted by Bryson Washington, has been potent. Jake Spavital's offense puts up nearly 50 today in Morgantown in a return for Jake Spavital. And Dave Aranda has won 4 in a row. Baylor is 6-4 overall and 4-3 in the Big 12. And the Bears win it for the first time ever in Morgantown. One year ago for Dave Aranda against West Virginia. That morning, he was explaining why he should keep his job. Now, they're on a 4-game winning streak.